I meant the Wildstorm stuff. Just kidding. I meant the Nickelodeon stuff. But I was there in spirit. Well, I was drawing something in Artist Alley. Just fucking get over here. This is Lane. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy. Doesn't matter what episode this is. Hope you enjoy Bryce talking to Toby on the phone.
You're recording that?
I was recording that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you can hear Toby. I don't know if you can. You can.
If they were listening,
either way, you didn't need to hear Toby. That was just
that was a free Bryce Briefly.
Yeah, the only real Bryce Briefly.
I didn't catch the whole thing. But I got a good chunk of it.
Well, it was not me talking. It was obviously Lane that was talking to Toby. So you're welcome.
So this is it. This is the final episode of the Comic Conspiracy, recorded at Comics Conspiracy here in 115.
3 blocks away from where you're going to be.
Yeah. Hey,
you can't say different city because it's
Sunnyvale, California, 94087. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Bryce.
I thought you were Lane. Yeah, I thought you were Lane.
You should.
Or is it Bryce? This is actually Lane. Oh, mind blown! This whole time it's been Lane! What?
It's Bryce.
You know, when Bryce's voice gets to that thing, I hear the pipes, like, vibrate.
I know. Who's next to Lane?
Dude, by the way.
Who's next to Bryce?
Well, Charlie's next to Lane.
He's also next to Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce.
It's Lane.
Oh!
It's Lane.
By the way, before it gets too far away from the pipes...
And Charlie's here, Charlie.
Yeah, I show up sometimes.
Toby's on his way. We are recording much later than anticipated. It has been one hell of a day. Mm-hmm. As you know, we're moving. We have our sale going on. We've had all the mail order stuff to pack. We've got a crap and a half load of stuff to do. I've been back and forth to the new store. We've been trying to get stuff finished up. PayPal crashed on me, so a couple of the mail order guys, I'm going to get you guys sent off tomorrow.
I had to go to Elusive.
You got to go get comics and go, oh, you didn't get that pallet, did you? Or the mover thing to do.
No, I don't really think we need it.
Get it on Thursday.
I don't think we need it, though.
Get it on Thursday. Toby's on his way back. He's got a bunch of con swag, but I'm like, we got to hit record. Toby will be here when he gets here, so... we don't have a lot to talk about this week. There was so much news from Comic-Con, and we're going to talk about, none of it. We'll deal with it in a couple of weeks when we come back, because...
So we're not going to deal with it, is what you're saying?
Right. Because I'm sure all sorts of other stuff will happen in the next few weeks, and we'll talk about the new store.
Maybe since our listeners are getting a break, we can get a list going on the Facebook group of what topics from SDC would you like us to talk about when we come back.
Or we just won't.
Or we'll just see what Lane and Toby cover when they talk about Comic-Con.
But they're there, so they don't really get any news.
Well, Lane, we're going to hear from Lane here about his trip to Comic-Con. Assuming Toby's here. At that point, we'll hear from Toby. If Toby's running still a little late, maybe we'll grab him in at the end. But a good chunk of this episode is actually going to be talking about Comics Conspiracy. This location, our secret origins here. We've been here for 24 years. Myself, I've been here for 24 years. You guys have all been here in some fashion for many, many years. We've talked about the stuff at length in the past, once or twice. But I feel like it's been a long time, and we'll just talk about the store and talk about our history here and everything. But, Lane, let's talk about... Comic-Con just happened. We have to talk about Comic-Con. LineCon, PopCon, TrempleCon, whatever you want to call it.
BullyCon.
Try that again.
BullyCon.
CosplayCon.
Lane, you go to Comic-Con differently than a lot of people. You're there for shopping, but you're generally there for pops, right? You're a big pop guy, Funko Pop. Is that your main? That and the art? I mean, is that kind of your main?
Yeah, it's kind of mixed with the art. Do a lot of pickup sketchbooks, meet and greet with the artists that I've made friends with all the time.
No.
So it's a little bit of mix. Trying not to do too much of one thing because you get bored.
I know many artists have or are considering backing out of Artist Alley at San Diego. Did you notice that this year at all? Did it seem a little lighter, a little different, or people still going to stick it out?
I don't know. There were definitely some holes, but I think there were holes last year as well.
Okay. That's surprising.
I'd say there's a little bit higher quality this year, or not quality, but I don't know what to say, like the caliber guests this year. Like they had Eduardo Rizzo was in Artist Alley this year, which was unexpected and was not announced until the last minute.
I always find it weird when the big guys have their own Artist Alley booth. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I guess I got like J. Scott Campbell kind of has his website and everything. But a lot of these guys, they just work for the big guns, you know? And I don't know that I see why they're out there trying to sell their own stuff. Because, they have their own creator-owned titles, but that would be through Image or Humanoids. And he'd do some work for Humanoids. Like, I figured like the bigger companies would set those guys up.
But so Comic-Con's kind of unique that way. If you deal with all of the other cons like Emerald City Con and that kind of stuff, like everybody has their own booths. You don't really have company sponsorship like you do at SDCC.
All right.
Yeah, because often they get sponsored by a company, but sponsorship just means they have to show up at the booth for a certain amount of period per day or certain days to sign or otherwise.
So they're at their own booth, the rest of the time.
Exactly. So they can meet and greet with fans, sign other things the rest of the time, or also sell prints, sketches, stuff like that.
Yeah, because I get it at like the cons we have here in San Jose or something, But I feel like a lot of those guys, they don't have a lot of artists when I see them. Like, the Marvel and DC guys, when they're at, like, when I was, going to WonderCon all the time when it was up here in San Francisco, I don't feel like I saw a lot of those guys at their own table. Like, they would just be there at the big booths during their assigned times. So, are more people getting tables? Are even the big guys getting tables now?
Yeah, a lot of the big guys are starting to get tables. It kind of depends on their schedule. Because it also depends on how many behind-the-scenes meetings they have. So I know, like, some people, they have a lot of meetings with part of the trick is they come in and they're flying from so far, especially like international artists, writers, and the rest of their schedule is actually padded out with meetings with execs, like for them to talk about upcoming projects, their current projects, etc. So they don't have time for a table.
Right.
So it really depends on the person themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think more people that have tables are local. Because that way they can bring in more stuff. And they don't have to worry about that schedule stuff.
Or guys like Campbell that have a huge online presence and do their own stuff.
Although Campbell buys a whole booth, like 2 booths.
Right, so that's what I mean. More. Right, he's got his own company basically that deals with this stuff. Yeah. So let's hear about Pops. Everyone loves Funko Pops. Most people love Funko Pops.
Too many people now.
You told me some crazy... We were talking earlier before. I heard some of the crazy stories. What the hell? What the hell are you people doing? What are you Funko people doing? Why are you trying to murder each other? What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I don't know
what happened?
There's all sorts of crap going on. Every year I hear about the crazy Funko parties, the lines, the fights, the tramplings. Like, it's awful. Is it... I mean, I understand this happens for a lot of the booths, but I feel like every year, the last 5-6 years or whatever, it's been like, it's from the Funko. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, I think... Well, a lot of it, I think, comes from the fact that Funko, unfortunately, is really high valued. Or I should say, there's a lot of fans, and unfortunately, with eBay around, flipping of Funko is probably the most profitable that you can make at San Diego.
When they're selling those $500 limited edition Funko Pops, are they selling them for $10.99? I mean, is that...
Yes.
Wow, that's nuts.
Dude, I was literally just talking to Charlie about this half an hour ago. What does this company not want to make money? Why do they print them? I understand the whole, if they keep it limited, then it retains that desirability.
Hold on, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Funko is the largest toy company in the world.
I believe they just became that.
Yes. Over Hasbro, Mattel, all like the big U.S. companies, over the big Japanese companies. I remember reading an article fairly recently that they were about to or had just become the number one most, like the largest dollar amount unit shipped, both units and sales, toy company in the world. Funko does not care about a $450 difference when they sell those 500 because they have thousands and thousands of these pops now, and then dozens of different lines, thousands of items across each.
Right.
So that might be the answer, but I'm wondering, because it's not just one toy that they do this for. Isn't it like every con exclusive they could print 10, 100 times what they print and still sell out of all of them? Then it becomes a margin that they might actually care about. That's my question. Do they...
Keep that fever alive, though, baby. You get those people. That's how you sell. How many pops did they have there exclusive or timed release or whatever?
Well,
like 80. What was that list?
Just the booth itself, I believe, was 66. There was a pop-up shop, and there were at least like 4 other booths that had pops exclusive to the show.
That's insane.
Holy crap! But I guess so. To keep that fever alive, I guess I'm just saying that like 66 times you could sell probably thousands more of each if they weren't as limited. Times whatever dollar amount that they're charging. Like, it just seems...
Well, I was going to say, they actually do some of that already, because like this year, more than another previous years, like out of the 66, probably 40 of them are what they call shared exclusives, which means
they're
that...
called what art exclusives?
Shared.
Shared.
Shared exclusives are not only sold at the con, but they're exclusive to particular stores. So, for example, on the first day of the con, on Thursday, Target, Hot Topic, Walmart... Box Lunch, and a couple others, Toys R Us, and a couple other stores also had these available at their stores. So some of these were also available at retail chains. They weren't only just at the con.
Okay.
So only, say, like 20 or 15 to 20 were actually really exclusive to the con.
So, I did not know that Funko was so big.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
You haven't seen the life-size baby Groot?
I do every time I look at my pants.
Oh.
But I'm also wondering, because it's not only Funko exclusive.
If it's brown.
So it's not only Funko exclusive, though, right? It's like this is exclusive to cons all the time, not just Funko is what I'm saying. So like all these toys. So it may not make a difference in the balance sheet to a company like Funko, but my question is, I guess, greater, not knowing originally that Funko was so big, that like all these companies seem to be, biting off the nose despite the face. Like, not selling nearly as many toys of X as they could.
I guarantee you Funko doesn't pay $1 for warehouse space. Everything that's produced is sold and shipped. They don't have stock. This stuff is limited.
Well, they have a huge warehouse.
But you know what I mean. It's like they don't have extra stuff sitting around.
It's constantly moving.
Right. I mean, clearly they have to receive stuff, process it, ship it out. But I mean, they're not sitting on hundreds of thousands of unsold unsold pops.
Right. So my question is, nowadays, with 3D printing capabilities, that I have to imagine that more and more, if not already...
But you're not 3D printing the pop for $10.99, though. That's the thing. They're super cheap, which makes them just...
That's exactly what I'm saying, is that... Couldn't they sell like 1 million of these, print them out, and ship them out the next day? To your point, without needing the warehouse space?
I mean, they do. That's the thing. They ship out dozens of these things a week, dozens of new lines between all the products. Yeah, maybe I'm not understanding.
I must not be being clear.
Why don't they print more?
They're just printing money. Why don't they print more money?
Because I think it is a supply-demand thing. If they were everywhere, the interest dies because people are like, I don't care anymore. It's that fever. It's that hunt.
Plus
that is what keeps these people alive.
Licensing too.
Yeah.
So they have to get licensor approval before they can release. So, oftentimes like they do 5 characters, but the licensor has to approve each of the 5, and they can only do 5 out of 10 or something like that. So
but if they sell like 1,000, but they could sell 10,000.
Yes.
Well, because there was the Tom Cruise
the Mummy
one for the Mummy.
Yes, it got rejected.
It got rejected, but some
snuck out.
And so it was going for like $500.
Okay, well that's different than like companies actually wanting to make money by making more of the product because it will sell. And isn't there some like fine balancing act between like just selling more and still having it sell out?
Yeah.
Or do they really want the secondary market to thrive so much on this? Because I'm also wondering like how many people have a bad experience with the con due to lines and trampling and fucking, I don't know if it's bullying or just... spending 6 hours in lines like that, maybe that sucks. And so is there an argument to be made about, can't you just make more so that the secondary market doesn't... Because right now it seems like the company benefits, sure, but the secondary market really benefits. Whereas if this company and many others just made 10, 20, 100 times what they make, they would still sell out. The fever would still be there, but maybe all the people that went to the con to buy this exclusive figure would actually get one instead of having to stand...
there's 10,000 people going to the con that know exactly what they're getting in for to buy 500 pop figures. That's the thing. The amount of people that want these outnumber the product 20 to 1. So it's like these people all know exactly what they're in for. Like for Ask Lane, right? I mean, it sucks, but Lane knows exactly what he's in for when he goes, and there's 1,000 guys like him there. They know exactly what they're getting.
Yeah, and I'm sure Funko's doing it on purpose.
Well, I want to hear about the Funko Day, and I want to hear about this thing. Like it's like they actually had to shut down a line at one point.
Okay, well, I guess there's multiple stories.
Yeah, 2 stories. Yeah,
inside the con itself, it was kind of the usual. It wasn't too bad, although at one point they were like hours behind schedule, so that kind of screwed up. But they had a pop-up shop, so it's a shop that's outside the con that you do not need a badge for, and that became really problematic because there were a lot of people who actually started lining up as of Monday that week.
Yeah.
Left chairs, and they basically had a lot of problems because you had a lot of people that like one person, and they would trade off shifts, are holding spots for 10 people.
Yeah.
So then, like, by the time the day actually came, like, there's, the guy who's like 10th in line is all of a sudden became like 40th in line, and now no longer guaranteed to get what he wanted. So that became a problem where there was a lot of kind of like bad.
They have to give people some sort of badge or something a day before to be like, nope, you have to be here at this point.
But then the problem was they didn't announce that policy, because then what happened is on the second day, the line wrapped the whole block of that building, which is actually a residential area, so that's also bad. But they got around to the booth or around the line and ran out of tickets halfway through for the day, and they decided to start handing out wristbands for the next day. But problem was that, and I don't know, I wasn't there afterwards, but word did get out, but people were already expecting to be there in line for the next day, but they had already given out the wristbands the night before, and no one knew. Some people didn't know, I should say. So there was a little bit of chaos that way as well. It's like there's no policy that was adhered to, or they kept changing the policy based on the number of people.
So how many people did you personally trample? That's the real question.
Just Toby. No, just kidding. That's why he's not here. No.
Yeah.
And then there's the big story was the Conans. This year they the Conan O'Brien. They made pops again. There's 4 main pops for the 4 days that you could attend the show that were given out if you went to the show.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien's been a huge fixture at Comic-Con for a few years now, and they do all sorts of exclusive merchandise for him at the con. His superhero identities.
Yeah. Well, that's the irony. They still haven't done the Big C.
Really?
They've done everything but the Big
that's
C.
his superhero name, the Big C. That's funny.
Yeah. And they're also probably one of the most sought-after pops every year.
Well, because they're so limited, right?
Actually, there's quite a few. It's just that you have to go to the taping, or before there was some random drawings, and they do some random drawings online as well, but it's just hard to get.
Okay, so very noob question. Is Conan O'Brien like a huge nerd?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Did not know that.
Yeah, he's very big, like, in the nerd community as far as, like, an ambassador.
He is kind of, he has that clueless gamer segment. So I think he is not so much that...
He was playing Splatoon with, what's his name from Arrested Development? Jeb? Or
Job? Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't think that it's that it's necessarily that he is a giant nerd, but he is sort of like the ambassador from regular people to giant nerd, and so they have a lot of nerd stuff on his show. And he's kind of the clueless guy that's sort of caught in the middle between both the real world and our world.
Although Chris Hardwick's sort of taking that over slowly.
You saw they canceled Midnight, right? I mean, Chris Hardwick, that dude is fucking everywhere now. Crazy.
Wait, who's this guy?
Chris Hardwick. He does all the talking shows on E, and he had At Midnight, and now he hosted half a Comic-Con, and he's kind of like the next Conan or the next like Will Wheaton, kind of like that. Like he's completely taken over like the nerd
ambassador.
He's kind of like the nerd reporter guy, but he is legitimately like a huge nerd.
Yeah,
so.
And he was a stand-up comedian. So.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick, huh?
You'll totally know him if you saw him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
About the Conans, they also made a 5th Conan, which was a mono Conan, which was black and white, that they only had a limited number, and their thing was they were going to roll a cart around downtown San Diego randomly and give them out. So you had to find the cart. And I guess the first day was fine, but the big thing happened on the second or third day it was, where they rolled the cart out not too far from the actual stadium or the theater that they have it at. And unfortunately, the reports are that a lady was carrying a baby walking by when 500 people decided to swarm the cart.
Ugh.
And basically the baby almost got hurt. The woman almost got hurt. And so the guy running the event had to just cancel everything, told everybody to go away. And I don't think they did another one after that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So for the biggest toy company in the world, I would think that press like this might not be worth it. Maybe they should just fucking print more.
Well, I haven't been a con since 2011, and even then, like I remember going in one of the days, I remember if it was Friday or Saturday, and you just see, I mean, people just haul ass. And I was standing there and just watch people run to the booths, and I'm like, oh, fuck, you're gonna kill each other.
Yes.
And of course, people are like, oh, slow down, no running. It's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's like a pool during summer.
I got caught. I think was it Hasbro? I don't remember. Like I got basically caught in a line forming, and I was like, nah, I'm not trying to be here. I try to go that way.
No, I've gotten that. I get caught in lines like that all the time because people just form lines wherever they want in the hopes that they will either cut a line or just get closer to wherever they want to be.
I get caught in lines for the world's most handsome man all the time. They just assume that it's forming.
To meet the most handsome man in the world?
There you go. Stop moving that microphone around. It makes a lot of noise.
Although, actually, now that I think about it, I forgot about one other really bad story that I haven't told you yet.
Okay, I want to hear it. And then here are some good stories. And then if Toby's not here, we'll move on to other stuff.
There was another pop that was unannounced that showed up at the show. At the Nickelodeon booth was a Baxter Stockman glow-in-the-dark. Baxter Stockman is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
No one knew it was going to be there, so it was unannounced. Everybody found out about it on preview night, so everybody wanted that pop all of a sudden. They were selling out every day. They capped the lines. Like people, if you didn't have some sort of trick or like exhibitor badge or something, some offhanded way of tricking people, there was no way you were even going to get one. So regular people had a hell of a time to get it. My friend was there, and apparently on, I think the last day, so Saturday, they had run out of the pop that day for the whole show at that point. Somebody was so desperate that while they were standing there, they reached over, grabbed the display because it wasn't blocked. It was just like an open case. Grabbed the display and tried to run. And he also tried to grab the Usagi, which also sold out. They were just trying to grab whatever they could and run.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know how far people think they're going to get at Comic-Con. Like,
there's just too many people to...
Yeah.
And then, of course, the security got them pretty fast, I heard.
Yeah,
so
yeah. That's crazy.
But it's just the fact that they were willing to do that. And then, ironically, from that point on, Nickelodeon had to have a girl standing on the corner watching the display from that point on.
Of course.
Or if they were sold out, they could have just removed the display.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't.
So, besides the bad of Funko, and well, I mean, I guess it's good because you got some stuff you wanted.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else was going on, Con? Anything exciting? Any cool? Oh, you went to the Wildstorm panel, right? Did you go to that?
I didn't go to the panel. I went to the signing.
Oh, okay, the signing.
They had a signing off-site at the San Diego Comic Art Gallery.
Okay.
And so, a group of about 30 artists were there, and they had a special book that you could buy, which was like kind of like a wizard sketchbook kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I got it signed by all 30.
That's awesome.
Was that?
Yeah, that's
was Jimmy
cool.
at that one?
Yes.
That's the one he was live tweeting, wasn't it?
I don't know. He might have.
Yeah,
it was
I think
really
it was
packed and hard. Yeah.
It was like a conference room in a hotel, wasn't it?
Wait, is that what you asked me if you were going to get? Was it? But
Yes.
did you just have extras? Yes. I didn't realize they were like signed or something.
Well, no, you had to get it signed.
Oh, okay.
But they also had a limit on how many you can get.
Sure,
but I brought back an extra for you if you want it, or if you want to give it away, or...
No, I'll just keep it. It's fine.
problem is-
I have no method to give it away, so I mean, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's not like we run a podcast where we give away stuff.
Well, the
Or
extra
you can do
doesn't
a
have all the
raffle in
autographs,
store.
though.
Who does that have? Does it have Jim Lee? That's the question everyone wants to know. Oh.
Because I could only get 3 autographs, so I got one for myself, and I got one for Toby and
one
Jim.
for his mama.
So,
Well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll give it away in the podcast.
but I
or
did
maybe
get
we'll give it
extra
away
autographs.
At the
So
opening.
I got it autographed by Terry Dodson, Adam Hughes.
Oh, cool.
Jay Lee.
Oh, just those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just those guys.
What about
Nobody's-
JR?
I tried for you. I really did.
I heard this story.
I really tried.
Wait, what?
He tried to get you. He tried to get you a JR autograph.
Oh, is that a story?
Yeah.
Well, I tried, but I missed the signing.
What did you want him to
I
sign?
haven't heard that story.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to get something signed to my biggest fan.
You dirty bastard. That would have been awesome.
I don't want to talk about con. We're not going to get too far into con stuff here, but they did announce there's a Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Superman Year One graphic novel coming out, and I'm like, well, that's an audience. that's a very specific audience, and that's a very easy book for me to just not even look at. I'm sure it'll sell well, but not even look at it. Yeah, con. Man, I got to get back down there. It's been way too long. I told Leanne I'll go to Comic-Con, she go to Disneyland, and I'll meet her halfway every night. So it's only an hour drive.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess other stories.
As long as you get out of the immediate con area.
Yeah, right.
Like the only other stories I say is I told you, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes showed up for the Funko Fun Days.
They basically Funko basically has its own con within a con, right?
Yeah, it's a special celebration just for fans. That it's very limited number of tickets. They sold out within half a second.
It's just like how Comic-Con
hotter than Hamilton.
It's just like how
Yes.
It's like how Comic-Con sells out the second it goes on sale because it fills the queue and then it's over.
Exactly. Yeah, there's 10,000 people trying to get only 1,600 tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's a place to get extra pops that are specific to the event that are only given out at that point. And then as one of those, they made a special Fat Man on Batman pop of Kevin Smith, and he gave it out at the show. So that was pretty cool and nice.
That's cool.
And then other than that, it's just, I saw several celebrities, but didn't get any signings.
Yeah.
Toby tried also. He failed. Oh, he got a few.
We had the Joss Whedon intro that we ran a couple of years ago.
Yes.
That you've actually been pretty good with the celebrities at Comic-Con in the past. Just nothing this year.
I didn't really try. The lines were just ridiculous, and I was too busy elsewhere this time.
With the entire Avengers cast, were they do a signing, or because I know they had those posters they were giving away.
Yeah, not entire Avengers. I mean, they had the Avengers were there. I'm saying, not Civil or Infinity War, because that's everybody.
Right, no, but I mean, they had those 3 Infinity War posters. Didn't they have a small, like a partial cast signing?
Yeah. They had a couple partial cast signings, and they had Defender signing, Punisher, the Netflix groups.
I saw the Defenders guys come out for the cosplay. Did you see those?
Yes, I saw some pics.
They had a big cosplay. Anyone that was doing Defenders cosplay, Netflix said, "Hey, we want to take a big, photo of all you guys." And then the cast of Defenders came out while they were doing it and took pictures of them and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's super cool.
It's kind of like that the Iron Man one they did a while back.
Yeah.
The one with the kids.
Yeah. I remember I was actually there for that one.
Yeah, that's
That was
awesome.
a great one.
Robert Downey Jr. is like, son, aren't you a little big to be a little Iron Man cosplayer? Charlie's like, no.
All right. Is that Toby that just pulled up? Oh, is that Toby? I just saw a car pull up. Looks like Toby's car. Maybe it's Toby. Well, while we're waiting for Toby, and via the magic of being able to edit all this around if I want to, we're now going to spend a little bit of time talking about comics conspiracy. You listen to the Comic Conspiracy podcast, you know that we're a comic book store where we record. I'm the owner. Brock and Charlie work with me, and Toby. And in this case, Bryce and Lane don't. You guys are just longtime friends and customers.
I'm just your love slave, which is very frustrating sometimes.
And Jim, who's on the podcast regularly, is a longtime friend and customer as well. Notice how I say friend and customer. You're all my friends, but you do give me money, so you pay me to be your friend. So,
That's like all,
Right, that's why he puts up.
it's like all my friends and my wife.
it is Toby. Well, let's edit around this for a little bit. Let's see if we'll get Toby on to talk about Comic-Con, and I can edit all of
Toby.
this. I
We're
can
almost
edit
done
all
with
of this. No, we're just barely starting. Oh, and he's going back to his car. We thought we had Toby.
Hey, can you give me Charlie
We
or
could just
Brock
record all this,
or
that's fine.
Lynn, if you've read it? Can you guys give me 30 seconds to 1 minute on the casting, Dark Days? It's slightly less confusing than The Forge, but I'm still trying to get my head around all this shit because I totally omitted New 52. Is this really just them trying to understand that nth metal now exists again? Is that sort of the long and the short of it, or is there more to it?
Well, nth metal is part of it.
Oh, is that Toby?
No.
Not Toby here.
Oh.
Toby's in his car.
We're just being
okay.
all distracted here.
Yeah, just keep talking. Let me
Holy fuck, that guy looks just like Toby, though.
Not really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of...
yeah, we're close. Sorry, Aaron. Gotta get some stuff in. Yeah, no problem.
Edit this out. Ryan loves the prices right.
You showed up right at the perfect time.
Wow,
I was like,
Toby-
well, we're gonna move on, and then I'm like, oh wait, I just saw Toby.
That wasn't Toby, but then Toby showed up. Although I maintain that he was the same height, slightly heavier, but not much heavier
Still
build.
recording, but you want to talk to Con?
Also Hoppa.
You're alive?
I guess.
I'm gonna edit around all this, so don't worry.
And he was just not nearly as handsome as Toby. I'll tell you that as well. What
All right,
else?
I'm gonna.
Hi, Toby.
Dark Days. We'll talk about that never,
Hold
probably.
on. Okay, so let's go to 32. I'll say 32. Okay. You good, Toby?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep it brief. I do. After this, we're going to talk our comic conspiracy secret origin. So you can take a break while we go around if you want, and then jump on in.
Wait, what's happening?
We're gonna. I want you to talk about Con.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need to find out what's going to cause my head to explode with jelly.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
And-
Wait, what did you tell?
Lane, I just talked to Lane about the pops and his trampling story and
The war zone?
Yeah.
He told us about some phone call he had
Are
with
we
you about
recording
half an hour
right
ago.
now?
We are, but don't worry, I'm going to edit all this stuff out.
Because his war zone was a area that I knew not to get close to.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Lane.
stayed far away from that shit. I would hear voices, and there was a ERT thing happening. What ERT? No, emergency thing happening.
EMT?
Yeah, whatever that fucking shit is. With the fucking stretchers.
Oh, yeah, EMT.
EMT. Yeah,
The M stands for motherfucker.
sure.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll intro Toby in here.
Oh.
All right, so
I was wrong.
hold on.
Emergency medical technician.
All right.
Motherfucker's better.
Well, now that Lane is done, perfect timing. Here's Toby Sidler. Toby,
What's up?
you made it. You're here.
Yeah,
Sorry, we started a little bit early without you. I didn't want to record till 3 in the morning.
fucker.
That's when you start recording normally. I just can't
Well,
do
with
it.
Charlie,
I'm too
I
old.
tend to like start at 1:30 and end at 3, and then ask
Yeah.
him if he wants to do another episode, and he looks at me like a crazy person. Goes, we'll go till 4 at that point. That's probably not a good idea.
So your voice is significantly deeper than
It
most
is?
weeks.
You're a little
Yes,
raspy.
It is. Is it a confirmed fact that going to Comic-Con makes your huevos bigger?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
Quite
Confirmed.
possibly.
Confirmed. We'll just say that's a yes.
Yeah.
How was Comic-Con, Toby?
Well, I might have some chest. No, I'm kidding.
Lane told us all about people getting trampled and
Yeah, his
Batman
Warzone-
on Batman. And
What fat man on Batman?
there was the Batman
Well, I
pop.
was not going to repeat it, Tobias. Keep going.
all right. Well, Lane's war zone, as I call it, I knew not to get close to because they were loud and yelling. Stretchers were being brought in. Yeah, not for me. I stayed away from that shit.
All those TMNT medical technicians were.
Ninja Turtles? Then I would definitely have been there. Especially if April would have saved me. All right, what's up? Anyways,
What's up with Con?
was
You went to
good.
Comic-Con.
That was good.
You survive?
I think so.
You
So-
were
so
here.
the-
You didn't talk to me like at all yesterday, and you were driving back, right? What time did you guys get back in last night?
11:30
Oof.
AM after drinking all night.
p.m.
What was your favorite day? Single day.
I will save that for last.
Okay.
Let's start with the story where I will make Charlie's head blow. And it's thanks to one of the listeners, Jimmy. Thanks, man. He hit me up on Twitter. He told me, hey, man, what you doing? I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm doing this. And he goes, I'm in the DuckTales line. I'm like, wait, what? He goes, can I still get in? He goes, well, it's drawing, but he could still get in. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be in there. So I ran upstairs, went to the drawing, and I got my winning ticket, and I got to meet fucking David Tennant.
Awesome.
And shook fucking David Tennant's fucking hand, and fucking David Tennant.
Really?
Fucking awesome, dude. Fuck yeah.
Did you get an autograph or
Oh,
picture or
fuck
something?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, no
Nice.
picture.
Very nice.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
It's almost like all the other ducks disappeared, and the fucking duck in the middle is David Tennant. I had to meet the fucking Tennant.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was
Congratulations is
Very
the only word that I can think of for meeting another man. That's
If it's the doctor, then
Yes.
no, that's actually really cool. That's really
yeah.
You know,
cool. Not as huevos lane.
this con
different part of
had 4 doctors.
Yeah, had quite a bit.
Yeah.
Had quite a bit.
I don't think Matt Smith was there, but it had 4 doctors at the same
It
time.
had like a classic panel with so many classic doctors.
yeah, with 2 of the classic doctors. Then you had David Tennant. Then you had Peter Capaldi. I think that was it.
They didn't bring the new doctor out, huh? I thought they would.
No.
Because
Jody
obviously I
wasn't
didn't make it to the panel. I tried really hard. If I was just 15 minutes or half an hour earlier in that line, I think I could have made it. But I wanted to see Capaldi off. He deserved that one.
there.
Yeah. So I got in with Lane on Tuesday. Wednesday, the whole shenanigan starts. Thursday was the first good day, I think. Trying to remember.
Toby looks like he's about to pass
So
out.
the question we all want to know is, Indie Gator, did he keep up with you, or
He kept with me on one day. And that was his own fault.
did you kill Craig, or did he make it back?
No,
or?
he's still alive. And he gave me some notes for the show of stuff he did. Let's do that first. No, let's keep talking. Anyways, first day, Thursday.
Yeah, he went to every fucking panel ever.
He did good. He told me he wanted to do these panels, and he got me into most of them, and he had a great old time.
Yeah.
I told him because, look, first couple days, or first day at least, I tried to, buy everything so that I don't have to think about it. And told him, he didn't care about any of that stuff. I'm like, dude, don't follow me. Go have fun. Enjoy yourself. And he did exactly that. So that's cool. It's his first time ever. Yes, it's on his lifelong bucket list. So I'm glad. I was happy to help him out with that, and he in return helped me out with a hotel. So we all help each other.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. Yeah. But yeah, so
I remember my first time.
With Indie Gator?
that was a special night.
# things I wish I could
That was
say
a special
honestly.
night. He is the future you, right?
That's true.
Anyways, he gives me these notes. He goes, 1, I saw a lot of DC panels across the board, high energy, but also really focused. So, cool.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a fucking Higgins, you reading a list?
No, it's fucking from Indicator. He went to panels. I didn't go to any. Did I go to any?
Yeah, he went to.
I didn't go to any panels this year.
Keep going. This list sounds good so far. It's
2, Didio and Lee panel trying to grow comic audience. DC
Love
superhero
that.
girls for young audience, traditional lines,
classic.
more adult focused. He's basically saying that they're going to have more female centric lineup, basically from all ages, from little girls to teenage girls to grown up girls.
This is something we actually should talk about briefly. There was an article that got posted over the weekend that said that Jim Lee and Dan Didio at this panel told them that the comic book industry is dying. This is like a rough quote.
Okay.
It's the furthest thing from the truth.
It was a clickbait article.
Jim Lee came out and said, I never said anything like this.
Yeah.
The quote, even if you read the quote as they read it, it's like, well, clearly they're saying we are trying to prevent the industry from
collapsing,
going through some sort of problem.
Yeah,
it's not that it is. It's just, hey, we're trying our best to not have it happen.
Well, Indicator also told me that they're really concentrating on the young girls going, hey, there's a future big market here. So I think that's pretty cool.
Which there totally is. And so everyone listening has read this article. It's absolute bullshit.
I have not read this article, but I love how you just gave a whole bunch of credence to some clickbait shit that probably a lot of people didn't.
A lot of people read this article. It was everywhere this weekend. Every site.
Did you read it?
No.
Well, you were
did.
there.
Did you read it? Charlie, did you read it?
I did.
Fuck you, Charlie.
Craig replied to me. He replied to me on Twitter.
I read a little bit, but
I'm
as
not
I
surprised you
skimmed,
read it.
as I skimmed, I got to the point where Dan Didio was saying it's the industry. We don't want the industry to fall into collapse like it did when Marvel was doing their variants and all this stuff in the 90s and caused,
all those variants they did in the 90s.
No, I mean, they basically were talking about how they feel like they need to change with the times. That's all they were saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, you're telling us that this article happened and it was not true at all. You would think you just fucking ignore it.
But so many people read this article and everyone was sharing and people were like, look, comics are dying.
All right, that's fine, but
which is nuts.
I didn't read it. I don't even know what you're talking
All right, 3. Jeff Lemire told a fan, "You don't want to work for Marvel. The House of M does not appear to be a happy place."
Yeah. This
Well, that just must be a lie.
this he when he told me this, I was like, wow, I'm going to read this in Bleeding Cool in 5 minutes, and no one ever talked about this at the
really?
Lemire panel. Yeah. The
Wait, why not? Wouldn't that be even bigger clickbait because it was actually a real quote?
again, no one.
And it's way more incendiary, by
I
the way.
didn't see this covered anywhere. Yeah,
There was a Marvel Black Ops afterwards making everybody sign NDAs.
So maybe he never actually said that.
No, to paraphrase again, multiple people told me this on the forum.
Those panels appear on YouTube, so if it happened at a panel, it's on YouTube.
It never happened. It never happened.
At a panel.
If you didn't read it in Bleeding Cool when you read this Dan Didio quote in Bleeding Cool, then it never happened.
What was it? Someone asked him how like any advice for writing for Marvel. I think it was. Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, my advice is don't." Or any advice for writing comics.
He had even better story. He went to all these Marvel and DC panels, all specifically comic focused, and he goes, "There's this same kid, person, or young adult that goes, I want to write for Marvel." And at each panel, he goes like, I want to work for Marvel. What do I do? And it's the same couple guys. And we're like, yeah, we know you want to work for Marvel. And what's funny was there's a little kid.
The DC panel?
No, there was a little kid that came afterwards, and I forgot how it went, but he basically go, hey, I recognize that this guy, Logitive Man. Logitive Man. It's wearing his son's costume, and he basically plotted out this giant thing. And Didio was like, that's impressive. You just plotted out the next 2 years. And he basically told the guy, like, yeah, you do that, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. That was all a bunch of mumble jumble. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I loved it.
Yeah. 4, no Legion news. Damn it.
Yeah.
5, Stan Lee panel. First question was from Jack Kirby's granddaughter.
Nice.
And it was, what stories and memories do you have, Jack? And Stan Lee told many. Then they got a picture together. Pretty cool. So that's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jinx, you owe me a cable comic.
6.
You already bought 2 today. You want a third copy?
There's a nice cable cover there.
I bought 2. Cool. How many did you buy today, Charlie?
I just bought the Jim Lee cover.
Oh, well, I bought both, so I'm a bigger cable fan. Confirmed.
6. Ton of excitement across publishers, writers, and artists for Metal. Snyder, as excited. Fuck you. Did you just laugh at my name?
No, I'm laughing at my own joke from earlier, which is, common practice.
All right. Well, anyways, Snyder's excited in person as he was on the podcast. Coolest revealed the giant spiky Batman on metal graphic is from a planet where Batman tried to cure the Doomsday virus and instead affected all of Metropolis with it.
Did he apologize for JR doing art in the...
You'll have to ask Indicator yourself. Anyways, those are his big hits. The only cool panel story I will tell that I heard from secondhand and saw videos of is a little cancer patient girl or guy. It was a kid. Boy. Was it a girl? Was it? Yeah, basically went up to Amel, and Amel was like, oh, I've seen you here before, or is it likely you're coming back against next year? And she goes, probably. And he basically goes, hey, there's a necklace I'm wearing. I want you to give it back next year. So keep it for a year. And he basically put it on the little girl, and I thought that was pretty cool. So he basically brought down the house with that.
That was fucking awesome.
That was pretty awesome. Anyways, those are the panel stories, and my memory's kind of re-triggering, or coming back. So, anyways, Wednesday night preview night. I just tried to get things for everybody. I was in constant.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I was in constant touch with everybody, and then as the days went on, I start losing touch of people.
Yeah, I never heard from you past Thursday afternoon or something.
I was pretty good with keeping in touch, and then it just kind of stopped. Yeah. Anyways, I just remember what happened on Thursday. A buddy of mine actually needed some help, so I went and I did completely non-Comic-Con stuff. I went into the press room and started helping filming. Went to the Kingsman red carpet thing, which is basically introduced their film for press and stuff like that. So I was helping with that. We did some other things. So that was pretty cool. No, I will hit the table.
Don't hit the table.
I want to keep hit the table.
Don't hit the table.
So that was pretty much all day. I kind of hung out with him pretty much the entire day. We went to the IMDb boat, which is pretty cool because our wristbands allowed us to go upstairs. The bunch of Inhumans cast were there.
Cool.
The Teen Wolf cast was there.
Craig met.
Yeah, I saw a lot of interviews.
He met Medusa, right? Yeah.
I saw the pictures of him. A couple times. And the other
what do you mean he met her a couple times?
I'll leave it at that.
Was there some colluding?
what's it called? And Kevin
Dougie
Smith
got 2 rides.
Kevin Smith was obviously on the boat.
Inappropriate, sexist.
It's a Twin Peaks joke.
Nobody else got that.
which I won't get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
literally
even-
no
Keep those to yourself.
That's a geek box joke, not a comic conspiracy.
Keep those to yourself, Ryan.
There's going to be Twin Peaks cast here pretty soon.
No, it will not be.
It's not even
ever.
a joke. You say joke. It's not even a joke.
Ever. Anyways, on to the things I failed to do. I tried to get the 100 sign, failed on that.
Wait. The most important question.
What?
Did you jump in the money bin?
There was no money bin.
Yes, there was.
What?
Wasn't there?
Where?
Wasn't there?
Where?
Oh, no.
Where was it?
That was D23.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to bring it over. I thought they were going to bring it. Yeah, I didn't see it. I wanted to. If that was priority. You know that was priority.
It was only a D23. Shit. I totally thought they would have had it at Comic-Con.
Fucking worst 60
Wow.
seconds of comics conspiracy.
Sorry.
podcast
They had
ever.
the money bin a while ago, a couple years ago, which you couldn't jump in, but you could just go in.
Yeah.
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 And that
they did
was
that.
promoting the remastered game when they
yeah,
were putting
yeah,
that out.
yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Wow, good talk.
So, anyways, quickly, things I failed on. I tried to do the 100 signing, failed on that. I tried to do Defenders, failed on that. I tried to do Punisher, failed on that, but I smooshed myself in, so I got to meet John Bernthal.
Wait, you what?
I smooshed myself in.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you did.
You met him? Like, autograph or just
Yeah.
cool.
Fuck,
Nice.
He's awesome. Anyways, I did that. What else I fell on? Defenders I really tried, but that was a no-go. It was just a giant mess. All right. So my 2 stories, besides the David Tennant one, after the DuckTales signing, walked around. That's when I met Jimmy, and then I was talking up to this girl, and one of the listeners, James, I believe is his name. He's one of the Uncanny X-Bros.
There's a lot of us, bro.
Oh, there's a lot of you guys?
Yeah, there
It's
are.
an army?
Well, we don't call ourselves an army, more like an
James, it
organization
is James.
that
It
has
is
certain
James.
beliefs.
Anyway, so I was talking. I was talking to this girl. We walked around a bit, and I guess he recognized my voice, and he came up to me, and he like, "You Toby?" And then she was like, "Wait, who the fuck was I talking to?"
Was it because you were going around saying Ryan?
Fuck you!
He just knew instantly it was you.
Yeah, probably. I was like, "Look, there's Ryan." And there's Ryan. And there's Ryan. I will not say his last name. Thank you very much.
Scott Higgins? Which one are you talking about?
No, I will not say it. But anyways, I thought that was kind of funny.
Nice.
Right?
Wait. Okay, wait.
So you met a bunch of listeners.
Huh?
Wait. But,
Yeah.
But how did you get into the Punisher screening?
What screening?
You said you got into like a...
I smooshed myself into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? What's so funny about that?
Nothing.
Fuck you! You're picking on something else again.
Oh, I just don't have a poker face. I don't
You're picking up on something else again.
No, you're just such an amazing man.
No, I'm not. You're fucking making fun of me again.
I am not making fun of
Yeah,
you.
you
I
are.
love you. Toby, haven't I told you how much I love you?
I'm gonna punch your lights out later.
No, I just don't have a poker face. My parents didn't bless me with a poker face. Oh, God.
I'm just too
had a nervous
busy
breakdown.
picturing us ending the podcast in this location with Toby punching.
This is our
that'll be
last
our most
episode here. It's
downloaded.
kind of sad.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a few.
It is sad.
Finish up your Comic-Con talk.
Oh
What
yeah.
else is good?
So the two big things, or actually, it might be
You had
more than
the
2.
2 stories, and you told us the one with the...
Yeah, the biggest and best thing that I ever done at Comic-Con might have been at this Comic-Con, which
Oh, wow.
it kind of blew my mind. I saw a little bit of bits and pieces of the Blade Runner thing, and then I knew it was something I just had to do no matter what, even if it meant missing the Doctor Who panel, which ended up happening, but it was well worth it. Basically, this Blade Runner is this giant white tent, and you go in, and the first thing you do is there's a VR experience. So you go in theater style, you line up and put this VR head goggles on, and you go through this thing where you chase down this other flying car, you're flying through the city. And it's, it was video game graphics, so it wasn't realistic. It was not like it was filmed, it was, it was generated. But it was still really cool because you felt like you were in a flying car. But at one point in the storyline, the car crashes. And that's when you take your VR goggles off. And what happened was the wall that was in front of you is gone at this point. And the car that crashed is in front of you.
Oh, wow.
And, there's water and stuff like that. And basically you get up and you walk straight into the Blade Runner world. And there's actors that are, that are there, like, they're scrounging, like, hey, man, what you got? Yeah, guy, I'm bringing the trade, And there's hookers like, hey, what you doing tonight? And shit, Cops, like, patting you down to see if you're a replicant or not, It was, and then they had the noodle bar. It was just freaking cool. It was unbelievably well done. They served noodles so that you could go and eat them at the noodle bar, which was odd because you couldn't get them at the bar. You had to go get them from the back, and then you bring them to the bar and even there.
Typical noodle bar.
Yeah, but but even like the guy at the noodle shop was like telling you Blade Runner stories, like as if it was all real, right?
Huh.
Yeah. They had like some of the costumes and stuff there, and then you go to BB's bar, and there'll be Johnny Walker shots, including Blue Labels. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they had them in little test tubes and stuff, so that was pretty sweet.
So long-time listeners of the Comics Conspiracy Podcast will remember that 2 years ago you did the Assassin's Creed parkour course.
Oh, I love that.
Which one was cooler?
I think this.
Wow.
I even say this was cooler than the Walking Dead escape, which I thought was cooler than the Assassin's Creed one.
Follow-up question.
Yeah?
Which is going to be better, the Blade Runner new movie versus the Assassin's Creed Fassbender movie?
Oh, Blade Runner for sure.
Okay. Which is going to be...
But if you're going to say with the original, I don't know. Doubt it you could ever beat the original.
Which was a better actor? Harrison Ford in anything in the past decade and a half, or Michael Fassbender in First Class?
Well, decade and a half is hard to...
I don't know, actually. That one
Harrison
I don't know.
Ford, what has he fucking done in the past decade and a half?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I'm giving him a huge fucking window. I'm just saying that Fassbender was awesome as Magneto in First Class.
Yeah.
It's not even a question, Fassbender.
Well, what the fuck? What did you mean? I gave Harrison Ford a decade and a half.
Yeah, not even a question.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
what else?
Lane just reminded me that the hookers, if you were down with the hookers...
Gotta love the hookers.
Yeah, if you're down, they're like, you want to have a date? And you're like, yeah, sure. And they would just take you straight to the exit. That was kind of funny.
But would they exit with you?
No. They're like, here you go.
Bait and switch.
Yeah,
That's funny.
So that was pretty brilliant.
I love how you both know the story.
That's funny. Toby was only there for 30 seconds before getting
Yeah, I had to go back in line for 3 hours to get back in. I'm like, damn it, you hooker!
It's like 15 seconds longer than Brock.
She was like, whoa, how the fuck did this guy get back in? No, I'm kidding. The other really big thing was Westworld, which they only took like 75 people, guys or girls, people a day. So everybody camped overnight, and basically people that were in line at 1:30 morning were like capped. I hope I can find out one day what they did, because supposedly they come pick you up in a van and then they take you somewhere, and then you have to get dressed in the cowboy suit and stuff like that. I heard that from second and third hand, so I do not know how true these stories are, because I talked to nobody that actually done it. I really hope I can find out what they did, because it sounded really cool.
That's crazy it hasn't been leaked.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, 75 people a day, that's very little, right? So maybe they couldn't leak it, because there were Godzilla events. Remember the Godzilla event I did years ago, where no photo, no video, nothing was allowed. You're just supposed to enjoy it. So maybe it was similar to that, but luckily Westworld, just started up. So I'm hoping that with years to come, this event will stick around, and I'll totally do it in the future. And on to the fun stuff at night. When I was helping my buddy film, we got into some parties. My buddy that used to be one of my producers got me into the Machinima party, which was just a crazy, crazy club atmosphere. That same night, we also went to the Dark Tower party, which my buddy that was filming that there got invited to.
Cool.
So we basically went to a spot, pre-gamed, went to the Dark Tower party, and, since invite only, free booze all the way, partied it up, and then we go on the way back, and continue, let's check out Machinima, which I was on the list on, and we got in on that one, and partied out even more. Got back like at 2:30 in the morning, and then got up at 5:30 to go back in line. That was Thursday night. And then Indigator somehow got himself some wristbands for a Marvel Black Panther party. That was on Friday night. That was on Friday night, which was pretty cool. We basically went there, and then, we got to see all the Black Panther cast walk in. The Inhuman cast walked in. And then, Ramsey Bolton was partying it up. Yeah. Basically, you go into, Black Eyed Peas was performing.
Wow.
Ramsey Bolton just walks by you and stuff. Nobody killed him. So that's a good thing.
Did he kill anyone? That's the real
you never
question.
know what he did in the back. So, we partied it behind a Marvel table. So I met some executives from Marvel. That was pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them you're on this podcast or work for the
Yeah,
store.
I didn't do that. Yeah, I was like that Ryan Higgins. I should just shut that guy down. The new store, just don't let him get in. The Black Eyed Peas are performing, which was really cool. You got a really cool swag bag with a Black Panther hat afterwards.
Nice.
Wait, was Fergie with them?
No, but I was kind of hoping that Nicole
What
was.
did they
but
call
she wasn't
themselves
either.
without Fergie?
They were Black Eyed Peas before Fergie ever came along, right?
I was just trying to get used to Black Eyed Peas again. Okay, keep going.
There was the highlight though was their keys player. Man, Whew, she was something.
Was she something?
She was
I
something.
believe that she was something.
She was something.
I believe you.
She was something. She was something. She kind of stole the show.
Well, she stole your show.
She definitely did. Anyways, Marvel party. Which was crazy. And then as
Would you say that it was better or worse than any DC party? Sounds better.
I've never gotten invited to DC parties,
That's because they don't have them. It's because it's no fun.
No, I'm sure they haven't. They just don't like me. As we were walking out, Will.i.am walked by and then fist bumped Craig and gave me a little bro handshake.
Okay.
Wow. The hell?
Yeah.
That's
Totally
cool.
random. Totally random.
You got some bro love from Will.i.am.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Would you have said that that night was going to be a good night?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They did perform that song.
I'll stop.
Man,
Yeah.
I'll stop.
That was
Yeah.
brutal.
So,
I'll stop.
but Saturday night, I pretty much crashed. I think. No, I didn't.
I woke up at 3 a.m. I was still outside.
No. Saturday. We were supposed to go to the Brew Fest, which for odd reasons they designed it on Saturday afternoon, where everybody's at the fucking con. It was like an anti-Comic-Con party, so I didn't really quite understand why they did it during that
When
time.
would you prefer they start a brew fest?
At night.
What about all the people that want to engage in day drinking?
Well, they can go there, so obviously some people went, I think. I don't know. I never made it
In other
there.
words, it was well planned.
Sure.
Just not for you.
Sure. It was definitely not for me. Anyways.
Well, not for you either, Bryce. You didn't make it there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I could have gotten you a free press in, though.
Really?
Yeah.
No, my loss.
While this gentleman here, Lane, went bright and early, well, not bright and early and late into the Wildstorm party, I got an email from, I did the Leica experience, which was really cool.
What is it?
Leica experience.
Leica?
Yeah.
Oh, that is-
They did those movies, Coraline, Box Trolls.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Kubo.
Yeah.
And they had a little exhibit offside. They had a little offside where you go in and, you look at a little sets and they had they have people talk you through it, which is really cool. So you go in sections and they kind of let you take pictures and ask questions and give you little insights on it. And then I filled up a little form to win some special edition Nike shoes. And then on Saturday I got an email going, "Hey, you won. You should come by and grab them." I'm like, wait, what? All right. So I actually went to line, and it was funny because I went to one of the organizers. I'm like, "Hey, man, I won the shoes. I don't want to stand in this giant ass line and give me my shoes." He goes, "What? No, you gotta fill out a card for it." No, I was like, "No, I won." He goes, "You want the shoes? We know." I'm like, "No, I won. Look, here's the fucking email." He goes, "Oh, you won." So I must have been very Toby with my language.
I don't know how you could have possibly misunderstood.
I won.
Yeah. Anyways, so I got in and gave me my shoes.
Did he say, "Listen, Juan, get to the back of the line"?
I got the Coraline ones, which was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
It was. Then they're super limited. I don't know how you get them otherwise. I don't think they ever sold these. I think the Nike president is the dad of the Leica guy. Somehow they're connected through family or something.
Okay.
Probably
So
just LinkedIn.
So they had these special. There was Jordans for Kubo. There was Paranorman had some really nice ones, and I really wanted the Paranorman or the Coraline one. So I got out of all the shoes they had, I got one of the ones I wanted. So it was pretty cool. Yeah,
That's super random.
it's super random because I usually don't win these kind of things.
Yeah.
Netflix had a off-site credit card to do, which was kind of cool. They had a Stranger Things set with the lights and stuff. And
Oh,
cool.
on one of the bikes. I wish I could have done that. And then, but I did the Netflix inside the exhibit hall, which is basically you go just through a bunch of monitors, and when it came out, you basically got a little price. But if you tweeted something really witty, you get better prizes. So yeah, I basically tweeted Luke Cage is looking for some coffee again, and it was like he had that look. That's what I took a picture of and I showed it to the dude. It took him a second, and he goes, that was pretty good. So I got the Stranger Things hat, which was like the top price you could get.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, man, can I score some glasses too? He goes, sure, here's some glasses. I'm
Because
like,
you're wearing them right now.
yeah, and then I was like, oh, man, how about a T-shirt? He goes, man, you got a lot of things already. I'm like, I had to ask. You kept giving it to me. I was like, so I went back in for a second time a little later to get my T-shirt too. So
Nice.
I'm pretty stoked.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I picked up an original from Dustin, which I'm pretty happy about.
Dustin Nguyen.
Yeah. Went to, hung out with Philip for a bit and said,
Philip
dude.
Tan.
Yeah. So no, it was a great con.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Especially, I want to see those shoes. That's
Yeah.
The
really
shoes are dope. And you know
That's
what?
really
As I was
random.
driving here, I was like, God damn it, I forgot them.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I was
Did you-
at the same reaction.
Did you buy anything other than like, that
No,
stuff?
I just won.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
All I
I
do
was
is
pretty
win,
good with my
win,
money.
win,
I didn't
win.
buy those damn Orphan Black cards.
Oh, you were telling me about this.
I wanted them
There
so
were
bad.
packs of signed cards, right? Is that what they
Yeah, I
were?
wanted them so
What were they,
bad.
like $100 each or something?
$50 a pack.
How many cards?
3 signed cards and a fourth one.
I mean, that's not.
It's not
That's
a
not
bad
that
price,
bad.
technically.
That's not
Well,
that
the
You guys have the most fucking skewed version of what the fuck money buys. Holy fuck.
It's con.
well, but
Con
So-
logic.
so-
Con logic.
the thing to
Don't get me
understand.
wrong. I spend a lot of fucking money on a lot of useless shit. I just did with you a fucking couple hours ago. But holy shit, what are these, like playing card size, like trading cards things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're signed.
Yeah.
And there's 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And it's
Signed by the cast.
$50 signed by the cast of Orphan Black.
Yeah.
No, the thing that got me, because Toby and I talked about these nonstop for
Yeah.
about 2 weeks
because
before the
it's
con.
been
I mean,
fucking thorn on my backside.
And why
for,
didn't you buy
ever.
any?
Because it's stupid amount of money.
well,
I wanted them really badly. They just happened to hit on a property where I'm like, fuck, I should probably do this, but I'd be really stupid if I did. But I really kind of
Buy
want.
one pack.
but the thing is, he wouldn't be able to stop at one pack because they
No,
had packs
no, it
for
would've been a
Series
whole
3
case.
and 4, and he would need to have bought 3 packs, 4 packs for the entire
12.
set. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's just say when they were in pre-order, I was tempted to buy a whole case of each of them, and then I came to my senses, so to speak, and I'll just go for Series 3 because I liked the pictures on that one better, and put them in the cart for pre-order, and then when time came to put your credit card in, I just couldn't do it because I was like, that's stupid money. I told Charlie about it, and I was like, it's stupid, I shouldn't do it, so I didn't do it, luckily. And then at the con, I was like, you know what, I don't even want to know where this booth is at, I just don't want to see it, I want to get tempted. This asshole over here fucking tweets me, or
It's cryptozoic, right?
yeah, and he
Yeah.
sends me a fucking picture of it. I'm like, you fucking asswipe. And then I go over to check out Nintendo.
Oh,
right?
did you get to play Mario?
Yeah, I played the fucking Mario. He goes, well, dude, come on, man. I got my priorities straight. Go see a
So
Blade Runner
jealous.
hooker and then go play Mario at the Nintendo thing.
So jealous.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
How was Odyssey?
That was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really, really cool. But that stupid booth was right across from the fucking Mario. So I'm like, I go have a look, and I was like, oh shit, I'm so tempted. I took a picture of it. I'm like, walk the fuck away. So I did, and luckily I never went back. But yeah, I think I was pretty good with my money this year. I didn't do stupid purchases.
That sounds like you got some awesome stuff
Yeah.
anyway.
I don't know. I know he's made 2 people on this podcast jealous so far.
Yeah. Oh, that tenant thing's amazing, too.
Yeah.
But what did he sign? Did you have to bring something in, or was it just they had the posters or
That
something?
the DuckTales poster. I mean, honestly,
Frame that shit, dude.
I
That's
wasn't
great.
fucking ready for it. He might have signed the tenant thing. I mean, Doctor Who thing if I
Yeah.
had it with me, but it was like
Frame that poster.
totally, dude.
That's great.
It's DuckTales and David Tennant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Win all the way around.
That's
and
so
then
cool.
it's got some community people and stuff, but
Yeah.
people you like.
Danny Pudi?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the whole cast?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just David
No,
Tennant.
it's just David Tennant's the important one to me.
Oh, it was the whole
He
fucking
centered in on
cast.
that just to spite
Oh,
Charlie.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
everybody was there. It's fucking awesome, man. I was like
Oh.
fucking DuckTales.
Hell yeah. Frame that shit, dude. That's amazing.
Definitely framing that
Oh, that's
thing.
so cool. All right. I'm sure we're not going to record next week. When we come back the week after, I'm sure actually there's tons of con news. You look at Bryce and Toby looking at each other. I don't know where the hell you're recording. You're not recording at the start.
No, I had something in my eye.
Yeah.
And it was something
Yeah.
about trying to figure out how Toby got into the Punisher show.
Toby could tell you all about those Blade Runner hookers on the 0.5 episode.
Hey,
you
they
wanna
were kind
record.
of cute, actually.
It's just the way I like him.
So,
Kind of cute.
as I said at the beginning of this
You know,
podcast,
there were guy hookers too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
said at the beginning of this podcast, this is our final podcast we were recording here at the original location of Comics Conspiracy. I can't believe how fast this has happened. We are moving, tomorrow is our last day. We are moving in 2 days. The store, I am not prepared, okay? I'm not prepared for this.
Oh, no.
I mean, I am.
You're prepared.
I'm prepared, but I'm just not prepared.
You are not prepared.
Thank you. I was
welcome.
waiting for that.
You'll take a collector moment at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, we're 24 hours.
Are you going to
away.
have some regrets where you like, when we clear shit out, you're like, I don't want to leave this fucking place.
No,
I don't want to go.
No, I'm right.
Tenant.
I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah,
no. That was that. I think that
No,
was solidified.
he would have fought that
today.
until the crazy lady goes like, you owe me some more money. He goes,
Yeah.
I definitely did not make a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we'll see. So yeah, we're moving. So I wanted to spend a
Does that mean
little
we're
time.
going to party it up tonight?
No, I'm gonna
We're
go
going to
home.
party it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow at 7:50. Whoever's here, a
We're gonna
toast.
Drink like crazy animals, and then at 8 o'clock, we shut down and we have to move the store. So we're
7:45.
going to move the store drunk?
At
Is what you're saying?
7:50 we're having a toast. 7:55 we're breaking shit down.
Yeah, no, at 7:45 we'll have a toast, and at 8:01 whoever's still here is helping us move. So that's the plan for Wednesday night. So if you're a listener,
We're really getting the fuck out of here, aren't we?
yeah, if you're a listener, then come Wednesday night. But no, I wanted to spend some time talking about the store. So this is going to be the last episode of recording here. Give a little secret origin of the store, which I
Like
think
memories and
we
stuff
did
like that.
way back in the beginning of the podcast. We've mentioned obviously stuff on and off through the years, but I want to quickly give you guys a little rundown of the store history. I want us all to talk about our first time coming to the store, which I know, again, we've mentioned once or twice, but let's do it all together. And then, yeah, if you got any great memories or any specific you want to talk about. So I actually found something out because of the move. I was told the store opened roughly April of 1993. I actually found in the back, for hanging forever on a wall back there, was a little, like, our first dollar.
That was covered by a New Warriors poster?
the original
Whose
use
fault is that?
No, it's been up. It's always been there.
Yeah.
The first dollar's been there for a long time.
But it's been there for 24 years.
Yeah.
I've just never really, it's like, oh, there it is. I haven't looked at
that
it.
goofy picture of you on the Sunnyvale paper.
Oh, that's coming.
It's just up there.
We took it down, and I took it home because I told Leanne we should like reframe this or something. I'll bring it to the new store. She's looking at it, and she's like, "There's a really faded date written on this. It's July
of 93.
of '93," and I'm like, "Oh." Well, apparently the store opened in July of '93, but maybe not. I was told April, so I have paperwork that says April. So,
Maybe it's they got
but it
the
says
start.
July '93.
But that's the first dollar they made.
So they didn't make any money for 3 months.
Yeah, they started the paperwork at the end of April, and like us, have had this business open and getting it prepared because Flatwell's 2 weeks late.
Possibly. Yeah, I wasn't. Did any of you come here within the first like weeks of it opening? I mean,
Not that I would know.
I didn't even fucking live in this country
right,
at that point.
right.
I never came over in this area. I didn't start coming over in this area
Yeah.
until like late high school or
So-
just after high school.
So either April or July of 1993, the store opened. I've been saying April forever, so I'm going to continue to say April. Maybe that's when the store was created, right? And they took them a few months to move in. But sure, let's say April. I moved here in October of '93, so this is the very first place I came. The original owner of the store, Mark, I never met this guy. He died immediately after opening the store. Him and he had a partner named Doug. Doug was kind of, I don't want to say money man, but he was more involved in like the backroom stuff. Mark was the front room guy. And he died very young, died immediately after opening the store, died of like a weird blood disease. Again, he passed away before I got a chance to meet him, so I never met the guy that actually opened the store, right? Which I, obviously owe an infinite amount of debt to. But Doug, who was the co-owner and basically ended up taking over, it was never really his intention to be the owner of the store on like a regular basis. Like front of the house stuff. Yeah. So, although it did take him a number of years, I think after about 5 years or so, he knew he was going to try to sell it. Little history fact for Bay Area people: there was 2 stores, Sunnyvale and Newark. If you're a fan of the CD Warehouse, Compact Disc Warehouse, which was a legendary record store that was here forever.
I used to shop there.
That I also worked at.
I thought you were saying the CD Warehouse.
CD Warehouse.
As in
Compact Disc Warehouse.
No, I get it now.
But CD Warehouse makes sense, too.
It was. Right.
They had another shop, Sunnyvale and Newark. So I worked at 2 places that had 2 stores, Sunnyvale and Newark. Not really close to each other. Very weird. Those are the only 2 locations of the 2 shops.
Did I ever randomly buy any of my horrible hip hop music?
I'm sure you did. We hated the hip hop people. You guys made a mess of that section constantly.
That's why I probably hated you ever since the beginning.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuckers don't know how to spell.
No, you guys try to jack stuff and you put it on the wrong way and you leave the place a mess and you move the little CD
because I'm trying to get
down.
an extra CD for the price of one.
Yeah, see?
Well, actually, Ed always hooked me up. You didn't.
I probably did. So I was here as a customer at the time, although I was helping out a little bit. Doug owned it through 2000. In 2000, he sold a guy named Ken, who was the man I bought it for. Ken, we had our differences at the time, but I have no ill will towards the guy long term. He just wasn't a great. He just wasn't a great businessman at the end of the day.
You try going through the back stock that he ordered.
We're still going through it.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
But Ken made 2 very, very good decisions.
What's that? Oh, we'll talk about that in a second.
You have a different view on it, huh?
Well, not a different view, but we'll talk about this in a second. So, this is at the time, Doug, when he opened the store, was very clean, very organized.
Yeah.
Ken is that sort of comic book guy, pack rat. This place
brought in
got
all the fucking spaceships.
Yeah, this place got very
I like the spaceships.
Cramped very fast. And we had gone through a handful of random employees. I was only here part time. His girlfriend, then ex-girlfriend, worked here briefly. Shannon with the lizards. It was awful. But we
that Shannon
got the store through. Yeah, that Shannon.
Ugh.
We got the store through.
She was something.
We got the store through. I basically took over as manager, and then after a little bit of time, trying to figure out how to get the store back up and running to where it should be, I ended up buying it from Ken in 2006, which I've been the owner now for going on 11 years, October 2006. So, that is the brief history here. Doug, the original owner, actually had a publishing company called Comics Conspiracy.
Yeah, there's still published some comics in your dollar bins.
Yeah, we got some of those still around.
Short box up on the shelf.
Well, we had like 40 or 50 diamond boxes of those. So Doug actually passed away very young as well, just like Mark, the original owner. I mean, a little bit older, but
we were worried about
young.
you there for a bit once he bought it. But obviously you survived, so
Ken's still alive, so it's not not every ex-owner has died yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a publishing company, so if you ever see Comics Conspiracy Comics out there, that's us. I mean, that's not me. That's the original owner of the store, but yeah, that is the same store.
It's the pervert.
Was he trying to do kind of a slave labor thing?
I mean, he wanted to do. He did some writing. He actually wrote for like Vampirotica.
Yeah.
The Comics Conspiracy were dirty books?
No. His weren't. He also wrote for
an issue of like a couple of like an issue of like Vampirotica.
No,
stuff.
he wrote more than an issue. He wrote for a long time. So this is not Vampirella. This is Vampirotica. This is exactly what you're thinking it is. Yeah, he wrote a porn book for quite a few years too on the side. But yeah,
haven't we all?
But Doug was a good guy, he was a super nice guy. He was more into like web design and computer stuff, and that was like his kind of supposed to be his regular job. So this sort of fell on his lap and was not supposed to be it.
The erotica job fell on his lap.
Yeah. There you go. So, I've told my story is weaved within the history of this of the store. I want to go, but I do want to. Well, we're going to go this way, but you two, because and Lane, I want to get you two because I don't actually like you and Bryce. Like I have this nebulous time of when you guys started shopping here. Like I don't know when
that was
started.
my fault.
So let me talk to you
Let him
guys
tell
too.
his own story, bro.
No, I will
as-
not. I
as
need to
a-
control PR, yo. I need to control my history.
So we had
You need to control
various.
the volume of
Yeah,
your voice.
we'll talk to you guys
That's
next.
funny
and then
coming
we'll,
from you.
We'll get to the rest. As I'm in the process of trying to buy the store, we had a bunch of random doofuses that worked here on and off
I'm
part
one of
time.
them.
No, not
Oh.
you guys. But it was like very part time. It was here and there. It was mostly me, and it was Ken, and it was his girlfriend, and so
Thirsty guy.
huh?
And thirsty
And
guy.
Sam. And Sam. Of course. Sam was working here at this point, who also has passed away in the
Yeah?
store. It's like the death store, man.
Is this why you're really moving? Like,
It's the location.
you've been seeing the
We're
clown?
probably all dying from the fumes from the
the
broken
black
laundry
mold
store
fucking
next
next
door.
door.
And the
you've been
black,
seeing the clown in your closet. You're like, okay, it's time to fucking move.
and the black mold we found growing in the back behind
I'm
the
gonna
shelving.
go to the doctor in like 10 years, and they're gonna be like, "You're dying."
you do have that
And-
hole there
and I'm
too
like-
that you covered up.
hole in
That's
the
like there's a
floor.
dead
from,
person down
from
there
what?
too.
They're like mold. I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck."
So we're in the process of me trying to buy the store, Ken's like, yeah, the other guys left. We need some help. So I have like a part timer guy coming in, and there's another guy I'm talking to, and I'm like, who the fuck? Like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I'm buying the store. Why are you hiring people? He's like, well, it's this guy, Charlie's one of our subscribers. He's
see, you already
part-time.
got the history wrong.
Is it backwards? Was it you first?
It was me first. fool.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you first.
Yeah, because the fucking
Okay,
I
he's
got
like
let go from the other place.
Some
because
fob
I
named
was-
Toby is some fob named Toby's coming in, and I thought it was you first.
You was a
Okay.
customer here first.
You're having
No,
fun.
you're a customer. I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah,
To get the history and the context
I
correct.
I need your version of the
yeah.
story.
Obviously, since you don't remember it correctly,
So
it's really hard to mix us up. This dude is a really big giant, and I'm a weirdo. So
I had a job in this area for a few years until basically the .com crash, and I made this my regular store. I'll forgo the previous store stories.
yeah, we've talked about it. You worked at another store as well. Yeah, pardon.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about how this wasn't like my first comic shop.
Right.
Yeah. But I made this my regular shop. I opened up a saver box, which, yes, Cable was probably the first book I ever put down on my saver box.
Well,
was it yours?
that sounds about right.
Was it yours? You put
coming
X-Men or
from
Cable
the
down?
Number 2 fan, because
Any
my
event,
first book
back
was
to my story.
New Mutants. Experience.
And I was a customer here for a number of years, even when I was hitting some financial hard times, so I wasn't picking up books weekly, but I was always, as I was taking contract work, I'd come in and buy the books, and I got offered a job at another shop, which is where Toby happened to be working. So
Yeah.
as Ryan loves telling the story, I kind of showed up at the shop one day to let him know that I was working at another shop,
I love this story.
and Ryan was all prepared, like, oh yeah, no problem, I'll close your box. I'm like, no, do not close my box.
This is also how me and
Yeah.
Charlie became friends, because that motherfucker's reading the books, but I never see him buying any books. What the fuck is happening? So I pull him to the side once. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How do you read them books? Because I don't see you buying them. He goes, I usually buy them from another store. I'm like, what store is this?
So I brought Toby to this store, and yes, Toby went bananas looking at the shelf and we never got that. We never got that.
Yeah.
We never got that.
There's a bunch of Jim Lee variant second print covers for Hush and shit.
And then there was a point in time where, so Toby and I worked together at this other shop for, I don't even know how long.
I worked there for 10 years.
I know you worked there for 10 years, but I have no clue how long you and I worked together there.
Yeah.
And there was a really fucked up situation that happened when Toby got let go, and the reason they gave for letting him go really pissed me off. So I went and I talked to Ken, actually, at the Toyota dealership. I'm like, dude, you should totally bring Toby over to do some part-time work. Toby was already working where he works normally right now. So it's not like Toby needed the financial.
It was never about the money.
It was never about the money, but it
Yeah.
was more just look, I know you need help. Toby will bring guys with him
Yeah.
because Toby's had his regulars. He's been there for 10 years. They're not going to shop there without Toby. Just bring him in for a couple hours on Wednesdays, and his guys will come with him. He'll be happy. They'll be happy. Everybody will be happy. And that's how Toby basically ended up here, because I pretty much said it would be stupid not to bring Toby over here.
Wait, I have a very important question. Did the Toyota dealership get you in trouble for having this guy make a mess in his pants on their show floor when you came in as intimidating Charlie? Because I don't think in my existence of knowing you, I've ever seen...
Well, it wasn't
Scary Charlie.
I've seen Scary Charlie. You should see him at Comic-Con. He's like, I'm moving this way, and everyone just parts because they knew
It wasn't
they
the
can't
showroom
send
floor, it
way.
was the parts department.
Yeah. Any event.
So, I
So-
heard that Charlie has...
I don't think he threatened Ken. I think
No,
he just
Charlie
said,
has
hey.
tremendous
I just
parts.
made it.
at the
I
end of
just
that
made a
joke.
good
Thanks,
case
guys.
on why he should.
Yeah, because Ken worked at the Toyota dealership. That was just like his full-time job. The store was kind of a side gig for him, which is why it never worked because he just wasn't here enough.
I'm just saying, I've
So-
never seen...
So good to know
Scary
that I
Charlie.
get to hear that you're like, who the fuck are these two people are being brought in?
I mean, I knew you,
Yeah.
and I think I had met you, but I'm like, why the hell are you hiring these people? I'm about to buy this store. Shouldn't
Yeah.
I do this?
Well,
I did. What's
Toby
that I do?
was
Too
here
bad,
for-
Ryan Higgins. You got stuck with me, bitch.
This was still a ways before you were.
It was a process for us
Yeah.
to go through.
Yeah.
And then I was still at the other store for a while, and then I decided to sort of stop doing that at all. And I don't even remember how it was approached to me, other than because at the time Sam couldn't do Sundays anymore,
I think that's right.
and and it was just a general. We saw how you handled things at the other store. Do you want to do Sundays, or it was like every other Sunday to start with?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, why not? And that's kind of why I always have said since I started here, like I stopped working at the other shop when I did because it felt too much like work, which is why when I typically talk about my time here, it's all I help out at a shop just because I don't want to call it work.
Yeah.
I call it work.
Yeah, me and Brock's been busting his ass the last few days.
Yeah, but
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
so that's
You've been at Comic-Con. You haven't been here.
I fucking busted your ass at night, bitch.
No, you did too. You did
Yeah,
too.
see?
Yeah,
See?
Before.
Fuck,
Yeah.
But
no credit,
so-
Before
man.
you left.
Yeah, no credit.
so that is basically the origin of me working here and Toby.
Yeah.
Did you remember why you came here first, though? I mean, we know
Me,
yeah,
yeah.
Toby's story.
I brought my people.
Yeah, but like, why? What brought you? What made you come here first?
Hey,
Do you
to be
remember?
fair, when I came over here, I didn't announce it. I just came over here. And if my people came, they came on their own.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't go like, hey, I'm here now, come over here from now on. I didn't do any of that stuff. I was more like, hey, this is my new shop now. And if they want to come over, they came over. So I just wanted that to be out in the open in case Mela wants to hear this.
Yeah.
I came here because I like working the shop. I like the community. I wasn't willing to give it up. It was never about the money. I like I said, I'm still here, even though very little. I'm still here, but I love the comic book community and the geek culture. So, I couldn't let that go. If they didn't want me, I was going to find a new spot, and this just happened to be it.
No, there were a lot of people that I was surprised sort of followed you at the time, and there were other people where I'm like, how the hell did these people not follow?
Yeah, no, it was really
it was
interesting.
really
to
hard
see.
to predict.
Yeah.
So what got me to so I will rehash this evidently. So my previous regular shop, like the one that I went to through my formative years or whatever, burnt down through, from what I understand, most likely arson, just based on the stuff around it, comics and comics.
Oh, you should stay away from those guys, Ryan. Yeah, no luck there.
And after they burnt down, I don't know how long I kind of went to this shop, went to that shop. I did not have a regular shop for a while until I started working in this area. And again, I kind of bummed around because there's a lot of shops in this area. And then I discovered your back issues here. Mm-hmm. And it was...
The Tick, right?
No, it was actually the mask.
Oh.
Like, I opened up my box. Like, I literally did okay, I want to open up a subscriber box. These are the books I want you to start pulling from me. And put this massive stack of back issues in there. And then I literally would buy, like, here's this entire story arc of the mask. And the next time I came in, I'd buy the next story arc. And
I actually remember that.
yeah.
I remember that. That's funny.
Yeah. So that was my selling point, was the fact that I was able to buy exactly what I was looking for, plus open up a box at the time I had a friend that I came in here with, so he and I kind of we opened up the box together. He put down his stuff, I put down my stuff, and then we just come here every Wednesday and
Red Hat Man.
yep.
Start getting nights.
I like how you remember him being the mass customer and me being who the fuck is this guy that Ken is bringing in.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you, right? I mean, I had met you like once, maybe, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I was very positive on when you let me in on that you were going to buy the store, and I was very psyched for you, man. I was all on board for it, and I was going to do whatever was needed to get that done, basically.
Yeah. You guys have done good. I want to hear from the customers. Brock, before Brock's story, I want to hear I always love hearing his story, though. But let's hear from Lane. Lane, were you at Legends? Because you and Bryce are just customers here. I mean, you guys obviously are more than customers. But what's your story? I'm sure you've told it here, but if you have, I don't remember.
Well, I didn't know about some of the old owners, but I did actually visit the shop way back because I remember those Comics Conspiracy books on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I actually think I did buy one at one point, just because I was trying to look into all the local
You just
artists.
wanted it for the erotica.
No, not the vamp. The actual Comic Conspiracy one.
Yeah.
Those weren't published by him. He just wrote them.
I know.
Yeah, I think it was like a weird superhero. I think there's something with music thing in that one.
It's like some cop
Because
bullshit.
I remember reading it. But I remember, I think at the time I was into Magic the Gathering cards too. So I was here just looking for Magic cards, and then I found the shop, and I think I came here about 3 times, probably during, I guess, Doug's ownership.
Yeah.
And then I was also bouncing around as far as jobs up and down the bay. Mm-hmm. So like I was up in Foster City, San Carlos, and then back down to San Jose. So my subscribership was bouncing around because stores were too far away, stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess at the time, I got a subscribership I had it at Lee's, but Lee's never pulled anything correct. So I was getting frustrated with Lee's. And then that's when I first ran into Toby at Comic-Con.
Yeah. So this guy bought books from me, but we really know each other yet. Yeah. And then we're on some line at Comic-Con, he was behind me, and we started randomly talking, and he goes, I know you. I'm like, how the fuck do you know me? And he goes, I buy books from you on Wednesdays. I'm like, holy shit, you do? And he goes, and then I started remembering him.
That's funny.
Yeah, so then that's how we met, and then, I started the box at Legends, and then...
Well, I think you had the box before that already.
A little bit before. Not by much. And then he told me all about the whole breakdown when, he was let go. So, you're full of shit with that part where you actually told me to move over.
well, you. Not anybody else.
Yeah.
Except for this person. Yeah, the whole Rolodex.
Well, I would have felt bad if nobody came with Toby.
Well, the people I hang out with, then,
Yeah, so that's what brought me over.
You've been here ever since.
Yep.
Bryce, I've known you forever, it feels like, but you actually haven't been a customer here that long.
It has, in fact...
Have I been the owner the whole time you've been coming here?
No way.
You have been the owner the whole time... Wait, what year? I know that you said this earlier. This
2006.
episode. Okay, so you have been the owner the whole time. So I'm sure that I have told this story... Probably
did.
During my Secret Origin,
forever ago,
which was, it's a while ago, back when Omar, anyway.
It's his birthday today.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And it was Toby's birthday yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Toby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll wait till tomorrow to tell you happy birthday.
When he's more awake and realizes he's saying to him.
So I I was in LA for school, and spent my formative years, with the closest comic book shop to my house in, South Central LA. Those in the Bay Area will, also know that as Los Altos. So I'm growing up in South Central LA, and...
What? Wait, what?
Los Altos.
Yes, I know Los Altos.
So I was in South Central Los Altos is where I grew up.
Okay.
So,
he doesn't understand there's 2 of them.
So what's the real confusion?
You grew up in Los Altos, not Los Angeles.
So I grew up in South Central Los Altos. I'm not trying to be confusing.
Okay.
It's not my fault that you're being confused.
Is there a South Central Los Altos?
Well, yeah. there is also a northwestern Los Altos. It's fucking geography, bro.
So he grew up in Los Altos.
I'm sorry I asked.
Was going to school down in LA.
You should be sorry. You're welcome. So anyway,
He just has to stay within LA.
the closest. It's a fucking anyway. So the closest shop to me was Big Guys,
Yeah.
and so I went to Big Guys.
Dick Swan.
Well, I don't know what his name was, but you described him accurately. He was not nice to little kids.
He's a big guy.
No, you're probably thinking of Chief. You're probably thinking of Neil.
Oh, Pompadour. I am thinking of Neil. Yeah,
He's not nice to
But
little
wasn't
kids.
Dick Swan the original big guy?
Oh, Dick's the owner. Yeah, he was always the owner
and
until
then he went to do boards and bags.
at the very
or boards,
end.
at
He
least.
sold it. Yeah, but Neil was always with them.
Anyway,
until he
fuck
sold
that
it.
guy. He was just an asshole.
Don't go to Hijinks. He's the owner of Hijinks.
I know. I have not gone. Know that, and will never go.
Yeah.
He wasn't like ever outwardly aggressive to me, but like when you're a little kid, you know when fucking adults hate you. And so fuck that guy.
Is that why JT doesn't like me? Because I hate all kids. You know what? You know what's so funny about
JT
Neil?
is my son, for those of you who don't know, which is 99.9% of you.
Neil's actually a super nice guy to me, and people, but like
To the
I've seen
non-breeders.
him I've seen him like as in like to customers, and I'm like, you're very prickly, aren't you? Like,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a weird
Yeah, no, I'm
personality.
sure that like if I went in as a calm, which is difficult for me, as a calm adult, he'd be totally normal and fine with me and whatever. But in the meantime, fuck
The
that
ironic
guy.
thing is he wants tons of old kids books.
Yeah.
So it was my only option because for the first at least 15, 16 years of my life, like that's the only place that I could go because that's where my parents were going to drive me. I want to go further, Mom and Dad. Fuck you, Bryce. So that was all I knew. And I was like, this kind of sucks, but I really like superheroes. So I went away to school in LA, actual LA, and had a couple different shops down there. Heidi Ho down in Santa Monica. To a certain extent, fuck that place because it's just so like, we're the hot shit in LA. You should be thankful you're a customer of ours, and can't be bothered with that. And then I forget the name of it, but I found a great place much closer to my school, my living situation, that I'm sure is closed down now because when the bubble burst, it hit everybody, I think. But anyway, that was a great experience. And so when I came back up here, I was like, oh man, so when I came back up to the Bay Area, moved back up after college, I was like, okay, I'm actually working now. I have my own income and a car. I can go where the fuck I want. So fuck this Big Guy's place. So I started like driving around because we are so lucky in the Bay Area to have so many options. And I went to a bunch of places. I went to Lee's and fuck that place because they're always closing down or moving or getting orders wrong. As I mentioned, Big Eyes was terrible. A bunch of other places are super dirty and just the worst example of nerd culture in terms of the griminess and the you just feel claustrophobic and the disorganization. Anyway, I'm a very pretentious gentleman, as you all
Probably
know.
a good thing you didn't come into this store before you ordered.
You all know. I'm sure that in my childhood days, when I was visiting from college in summers and whatnot, I came here before Higgins took over, because I had car and disposable income, and I was able to shop around a little bit. But anyway, I was looking for a more permanent place for my checkbook and comic account, and came in here, and I met this fucking guy that seemed like a nice guy, even though he looked like he might have been a goth at one point. It didn't really bother me at all.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Wait, hold on, I'm telling my story. And so
That's a special day I held your hand. I'm kidding.
and so that wasn't my hand. And so so I met Higgins, and Higgins seemed like to this day I maintain Higgins seemed like a good guy. He seemed
Somehow we got invited to his wedding.
Look, I'm not going to tug on Higgins' dick too much because I do that enough, and even though I'm about to do it some more. But he's a very nice, well-mannered, fastidious, He laughs at my jokes.
They don't hang out with you much,
which is more than I can say about my my wife. But no. Kidding aside, he's a great guy. Was great to be around. He was always really nice. Even though half the shit I asked him to put on hold for me or order for me, he didn't. It didn't really matter. Yeah, that's true. Actually,
What are you talking about?
it doesn't matter. It's
I wasn't mean to you as a child, so it was all right.
Yes. No. There's a bunch of shit that he would forget, but it was never anything important. Anything important that I had, he always remembered. But he was a great, and I'm again, without too much dick tugging, I'm proud to say friend. He's been fantastic about sort of developing my appreciation for comics outside of my bubble, even though I talk a lot of shit about even though I say that Marvel's better than DC, I don't think that I actually talk a lot of shit about DC Comics. I actually like DC Comics. I've always liked Batman, but I never would have gotten into Jeff Johns without Higgins. There's a bunch of other shit that he's turned me on to in terms of comics that I'm very thankful for. I know I said I wouldn't tug on his dick too much, and I'm still going. But anyway, so my secret origin was to net it. I met this guy that was really cool, that was running a comic shop, that was barely older than me, that was like really nice and very personable, and sort of fucking got it. He had a great like store. It was clean. The clientele was like normal human beings. It had incredible back issue stock. I mean, what's not to like? So I'm a very loyal guy, and as soon as I figured out that this was going to work for me, I was like, "Fucking, I'm all in." And until the day that you fucked me, and he's never fucked me, and so I'm his man for life.
He never fucked you?
Not yet.
That's true of you.
Still waiting,
all the time.
Still early in our relationship.
Brock.
Yep.
No. I mean, you've told your story once or twice on here, and it's a great one. But we'll tell it again. But actually, did you ever come here before?
I had been here
Once or twice, right?
I think once or twice.
Yeah.
I want to say I came. I think I came with you one time, and we probably bought like magic cards or something.
Like before I was actually
you were actually working here.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like we were hanging out. And we went over to the place on Wolf where you were staying with your dad, and you were like, "Oh, we got to go to the comic store." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, for those that don't know, I've known Brock since he was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
Like he's the first person I was like friends with out here when I moved to California. We bonded over an issue of Wizard magazine.
God knows what issue.
Like one of the first days I was at school.
Yeah, so I mean, I saw this place when it was this dark cave.
But it wasn't early.
No, I saw it when it had the video, like when it had the video games up front.
Yeah.
And then I saw it when I think Ken owned it, and it was very dark, and the register was in the middle of the store. But I never really liked the location here.
And you had a shop right down the street.
Well,
from you.
I grew up. I was lucky enough to grow up with Brian's books like a block from my house, and then R&K Comics
you can't beat that.
like 2 blocks from my house, and then R&K and Brian's a block from each other. So it's like, I grew up with 2 comic stores very close to where I lived. Yeah. So I was really spoiled in that. So like the only place I've ever had a box or a pull at was Brian's for a little while after high school. But I was out of comics for about like 10 years. I would go into like What's Hot because I was living over in that area and like grab a handful of things.
We lost contact after high school, but I ran into you at San Jose State.
Yeah, during the Neil Gaiman
signing. Yeah, we were in line. And you were hosting. You were not hosting.
I was part of the English department that was hosting the literary the thing. So you and I for years had seen each other. I'd come into CD Warehouse and see you and stuff, and then I started working over here at a autistic school, and I remember there was a comic store, and I was kind of like, oh, comics, let me go check them out. And I had heard you would tell me you were working there or working here. So it was after I got off work in the afternoon, and I come in and I walk in, and you're standing behind the counter, and I look at you and I go, "You still work here?" and you turned to me just instantaneously, bitch, I own the place. And I was like, oh, okay. And
and that was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago. No, actually, that was...
Or a little over 10 years
ago.
ago.
That was over 10 years ago, because I started...
Like, I just bought the place.
You had just bought the place, and then...
Wait, that can't be right. So it means I've been working for you over 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
No.
Almost 11.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I didn't start...
No.
I didn't start until April of 07.
Yeah, remember, Brock's the second newest employee here.
Yeah.
No.
And he's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I would come in every so often after that, and then you got to burr up your ass because you had bought the
back
place,
issue bins, right?
And you were like, I need to do something with these back issue
That's
bins.
right.
And so that summer, I redid the back issue bins, which surprisingly enough have held up for 10 years.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. We get to see on Saturday when we move them how well they're still holding up. But I think they're okay. They seem sturdy as hell still.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to admit, like, I do remember when Brock started here, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy working on the back issue bins?
Yeah. Yeah, and then...
There's a lot of who the fuck is this guy stories here.
Yeah, well, because that's the thing is...
I'm like the worst owner ever, so I'm all like, oh yeah, I hired like 3 people. Didn't I tell you guys? Like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah, I think the first time I met Charlie and Toby was some random, like, you had called, like, all of us in for a meeting.
Oh, I hated that day.
Like...
Fucking store meetings.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
We're
Corporation?
gonna have a store meeting on Tuesday, but it's gonna be at a bar and there's alcohol involved. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, but you didn't do that. You had it here.
Well, he got better at it.
Yeah, he's getting better at it. But, yeah, I mean, that's how I started here, and then I've never actually had a pull box since.
I never have. It pisses me off every month. So, actually, I don't know
I'm pretty sure we're all really bad about our pull list at this point.
I've had a pull list here. There are customers who have had pull list here longer than I have, but I've been since the day I moved to California.
When I'm saying you kind of don't count because you do the ordering, but I'm horrible at letting you know, like, I'm going to buy this crossover book or...
No, the thing is your name and Toby's name is on the subscription list.
Yeah.
My name is not.
Yeah.
And Marshall's isn't.
Well, Marshall doesn't get...
Marshall buys one fucking book. It's Atomic Robot.
There's so many crazy stories about the store. One of my absolute favorite, like, awful story, not awful, but just like those annoying, like the story that just
My favorite
up.
customer?
Who's your favorite customer?
My favorite customer.
Philosophy bad guy?
No, he's my favorite customer. this
Who, Chris?
Yes.
Chris? Oh, Chris is a sweetheart.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
That's my favorite customer.
No, we have a before I owned the store, a friend of mine named Kevin worked here very
DJ Heaven?
briefly. Yeah, DJ Heaven.
Oh, fuck
Kevin,
DJ Heaven.
He worked here during the summer one time because we needed help. I was just like, I need like some other people here. We would sort this store was so crowded when Ken owned the store. We would sort out the new comics in the bathroom. I would sit on the toilet.
Holy fucking shit.
I would sit on the toilet with the diamond boxes in front of us. He would sit on the stool like in the...
You do realize it's your fault that the toilet's been that way.
I would sit on the fucking toilet, okay? Lid down, of course.
Of course.
This is before I bought it. So,
New Pants guy would have almost been proud there of you for a second.
I'm kind of disgusted, but
your comics are
I'm
safe.
sure it'll redeem itself.
No, not at all. I mean, this was like for years this happened, and Kevin would sit like on a bench, like in the crowded hallway.
How in the fuck did he get a bench in there? It wasn't a bench. He just put two fucking long boxes together.
The stool, right? He sat on the little stool. And not that type of stool. And we would just open up the boxes.
So was his head in the toilet and you were sitting on his butt? I don't get it.
and sort them out and like I would like stack them on my lap. And I would like
and I would
like sort them to him, like the boxes we check off from the little list. Like, it's one of those crazy memories where I'm like, how did we do this? Like, it was just there would be there would be McFarlane toys boxes like floor to ceiling. Like he'd be like, "Oh,
No, when I came
the
here,
new McFarlane toys came in, and we got 12 cases." I'm like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do with this?"
when I came here, the back room you could not
Couldn't
walk
move.
through.
No, you literally
you had to
could not.
climb or move over things
There was
just
no-
to get to the bathroom.
It was a fucking fire hazard. It was impossible. It was the worst. Like, there was not a clear path.
There were a couple
To
of
see-
years
to
where
see-
I what just scream at you from the back.
It took
What the fuck is
We
this?
got it though. We got it. It took forever, but we got it down. So it's a nightmare now, but that's because we're moving. So it's like half.
No, it's
half
just empty
torn apart.
boxes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite random
and
memories.
Lots of empty
Of working in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Of course, the Jeff Johns signing. One thing
yeah.
talking about. We had Jeff Johns out here.
That was one of my disappointments, I think, because I
Disappointments?
had to work because I was bouncing at the time, and I had
yeah.
to leave.
You were here for part of it, though, right?
I was here for the beginning, so
Yeah.
I got in Infinite Crisis hardcover
Nice.
signed,
Nice.
and he drew a Batman head in it.
Nice.
Jeff Johns definitely a highlight at this.
absolutely.
But I was supposed to actually go to the
dinner.
Dinner, yeah, and you couldn't.
but I couldn't.
Trip
So,
took your-
Trip
took
got
your seat, yeah.
Trip
Yeah.
took my seat.
Yep.
But again, that's when I was working
Yeah.
the 3 jobs. I was working
You worked
here.
till like 3 in the morning or
yeah,
some shit bouncing.
so I had to. But I was bouncing in San Ramon, so I had to
Yeah.
leave. So
Yeah.
because I remember I was dressed up. I was dressed up to bounce before we left. So.
Yeah.
Because I was like, at the time, I was like, who the fuck is this Jeff Johns guy? Really nice guy, though.
Do you want to know my who the fuck is this dude story?
Sure.
Well, there's this nice clean cut guy that comes in here, and he would always talk to Higgins. And even though I worked at the shop, he never looked over, never said hello. I thought he was kind of snobby, didn't like the dude. And in one of your movie screenings, you're like, "This is your seat." I'm like, I'm sitting next to that fucking snobby motherfucker. So I sit down. And then he looks over and, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, shit, he's not that bad." And then I go along with him.
What movie was it?
I don't
Wait.
remember.
It was an X-Men movie.
Get the fuck out. This isn't me, is it?
It totally is you, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not a snobby motherfucker.
You never looked over,
were-
never said hello. You'd only talk to fucking Higgins.
Well, Higgins.
It's like we didn't
when you
exist.
first started here.
No.
because
It's like we didn't
because I
exist.
remember
You were
you-
like, "Come to the fucking the
that's-
counter."
no,
You're like,
no.
"All right, Higgins, let's talk about comic books today."
No, that-
and the entire store didn't exist.
No, that.
Yes.
But
no.
let's be fair. That's like half my customers.
That's
okay.
true. That's true.
That, let me just,
And then when I try to interact, you're like, "No, I'm talking to Higgins. Stop talking, please."
I'm pretty sure that's not at all.
No,
what happened.
absolutely.
No.
And then I remember, like, when we had the movie screening, you're like, "Oh, you're sitting there." I'm like, "Why the fuck am I sitting next to this dude?" And then you turn around and say, "What's up?" And I'm like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Okay, that's not that
Oh.
bad."
This fucking douchebag isn't so bad. Dude, that's a fucking awesome
He saw
story.
you wearing a soccer jersey, and he's like, "Oh, hey, soccer."
Hey, he could be part European like my people.
That was secretly
great.
my secret origin. Was I knew that you were European, so I got into soccer.
Yeah, oh, excellent.
Just
Good choice.
just to meet you. Wow, I'm humbled. That's that's very nice. So embarrassingly, I do not remember that, but I do believe you. My memory is bad in my defense, but I'm also only half douche, not full douche.
Okay.
Scott was your bro love
Yeah.
for a while.
Oh, yeah, Scott
I
Shea.
love with Scott Shea.
Well, so Scott and Larry, and let me just establish the fact that like there are some people that you know before you come here, and Scott was one of those. It was like, holy
Oh,
fuck,
really?
You're also into oops, sorry, thank you. You're also into comics. Like it sort of was.
Wait, how'd you know
surprise.
Scott Shea?
'Cause it's a long, boring story. He's into the swimming community,
Yes.
and my brother's was a phenomenal swimmer. He's now a
Oh,
swim
okay.
coach, and so they knew each other from a prior life. So I knew Scott from a prior life.
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't know.
Anyway, and so, by the way, in my defense,
Yeah.
you fucking nerds are the worst type of, like, exclusive, like, haughty, nose in the air motherfucker.
Why? I was like welcoming you with open arms. You're like,
No.
"Hold on, I'm talking to
No,
Higgins.
your arms
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me."
Your arms were crossed
I'm
like Charlie's are literally right now, okay? You
Well,
were
after
like,
you said that,
this is how welcoming I am, motherfucker.
I was-
Charlie just uncrosses his arms just now.
well,
No, I'm actually just thinking I have no recollection of when I became aware of your existence.
He still doesn't know who you are.
Well, it was
You're
funny.
like,
It was
who are
funny
you?
is-
That's about right. That's like most of the people in my life. Like, I'm surprised that
Because there was
an
a-
aggressive.
No, I know,
meeting with Toby.
when you guys existed to each other is when Charlie was in his bright yellow Wolverine shirt at the Arts and Wine Festival.
No, that was Deadpool.
Yeah, it was
Deadpool
Deadpool.
shirt.
First of all, and second of all, that was years after I met
Yeah.
Charlie.
That's true.
No, you
But
were for a
still
while.
good
You
time.
were living down in L.A. after college,
Yeah.
and you would come up here and get your books.
Okay.
And the thing is you would come in and stuff like that, and then I think like after a couple of times you doing that, I said, "Hey, Bryce, what's up?" And you looked at me like, "How the fuck does he know me? like, how do you know me?" I was like, "You come and shop here. I've seen you here before." And you're like,
So basically, okay, keep going. Yeah. Everybody has a better memory than
that
me.
whole like
is-
nerd pretentious thing. You're like, wait, he's talking to me, but I thought he was this. Like you were reanalyzing everything.
Well, I definitely tried to talk to this motherfucker. He just didn't want to talk to me.
It was never that I didn't want to talk to you. It was that you guys are very daunting. The whole nerd culture is very.
We're a lot to take in, Toby.
You
So-
guys, yeah.
Until I started
He just
working
wants
here,
a little at a time.
I probably didn't know any other customer's name practically. I talked to, because I used to hang out here on Wednesdays for long periods of time, and I talked to all sorts of people. Until I had to pull books for people, I couldn't tell you anybody's name.
Yeah, that's where I am. Well, exactly. Thank you. So it's not a personal thing. It was just
I
that
took it personally, motherfucker. No, I'm kidding.
it's a mixture of I have no
And
excuse.
then there was
Toby.
Omar and Hero Clicks.
It's really it's tough to like get to immerse yourself into the crew if you don't know anybody in the crew. It's a daunting operation. When Higgins was a known entity, I talked to Higgins. I come in, we have our little chit chat. That's about as much as I can handle.
What's great
But
about
I think that's just because most people who come here only know Ryan's name.
yeah. Well, what's great about
Oh,
Wednesdays?
shit, I get called Ryan's every time I'm on the phone. Ryan?
Yeah.
No, this isn't Ryan.
Yeah, everybody that calls only wants to talk to fucking Ryan
I know.
Higgins.
Fucking
What's
Higgins.
great about
sometimes I want to
Wednesdays?
talk to the shipping receiving manager, but I'm never here.
Yeah, what's great about Wednesdays, and you know, anytime there's multiple people in the stories, it's so rare that I've had a thing where like people kind of like don't get along. Like, you know, there's obviously some customers that are whatever, but people will just talk to each other when they're in comic book stores because we're all into the same stuff,
Yeah.
usually, right? And I've had. I mean, there's a couple customers that on a Wednesday they'll be here 5-6 hours and just I've had Wednesday
And that
nights
used
here.
to be me.
Yeah, we'll have 12, 14 people talking, and someone will walk in and be like, "What have I walked into? I've walked into like this like conference at the front of the store." Yeah, so I mean, the comic store is such a great place. It's there's not a lot of
It used to be really alive. I think it's not as live as it used to be anymore.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, it still gets.
Maybe I'm just
I
coming
mean, it
to
goes
it.
back and
Yeah.
forth depending on the
Yeah.
time.
But
and
there
who's
was
here.
a time when everybody was here, like.
Well, that's okay. Once we're in the new location,
back.
everybody's going to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it just there are
Wednesday
times
we open till 11 from now on?
Oh Jesus!
Come on, man. Come on,
But there
man.
were-
Come on, you know you want
Well,
to.
it just depends on
happened
people's
before.
schedules, right? I mean, but what'll happen is a lot of people will base their schedules around the other customers on Wednesdays. It happens all the time now. It just some of the guys that used to do the night crew are now like afternoon crew. It's
Yeah.
there's not a lot of places where you do this stuff anymore. I mean, there's just not that place to hang out, and this is it's such a great comic stores in general. I'm not just talking here. I'm just. It's such a
Yeah.
great place to hang out and meet
Well,
people.
that was
so.
like one of my falling outs at the old store. They were on to meet people to come in and get out, and I kind of disagreed on that.
I totally disagree with that.
And when we came here, and I was totally happy.
It's a delicate balance between engaging customers on a social level and engaging on a business level.
Yeah.
You do need to. You can't sit there and talk to a customer for 3 hours and get no work done. But I can usually multitask pretty well. Brock's pretty good at it. Charlie, you definitely on Sunday, you're ringing people up and talking. I mean, that is part of the job. It's being able to do both. And especially when there's a line of customers, I can usually carry on a conversation, try to include the next customer in that conversation as I'm ringing them up, talk to them, engage with multiple people at the same time about a group topic.
And then
So-
Ryan also tweets at the same time.
And then I'm tweeting while I'm waiting for the customer
I
to...
was just about to say, Higgins has literally tweeted about me
as we're talking.
during, like, while talking to me more than
my
he's
phone,
He
actually
does that
talked
to me
to
like
me.
every Monday and Tuesday.
I have more tweets about me by him sent during my like exchange with him.
'Cause it's funny.
that I don't get out until I get to the parking lot. That was really fun talking to Higgins. Then I get in the car and
There's like 12 tweets from
fire
you.
up
This
Twitter. And
asshole.
it's like
you
this
motherfucker.
fucking guy. learn how to tweet, motherfucker. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I was just buying from you.
I mean,
multitasking's.
As far as I remember it, there's always been a great sense of community in the shop.
Yeah.
Well, I think that when I started here, and you had just taken over. Charlie was working his hours, Toby was working his hours, Sam was the Thursday guy.
Yep.
It was I came in as kind of contract work, so to speak, but I ended up becoming the back issue guy,
the backroom guy. Yeah.
I think what it was is that throughout the years, I've always heard stories like with Ken where we don't have employee, we're struggling to find people. For 10 years, despite losing Sam, we've had a solid employees here. Like, we all care about the store.
Well, I'm still hoping for my raise. That's why I never left. I think that's why.
Wait, you didn't get the raise?
No, man.
City Sunnyvale, man. Every year I've gone up a little bit. No, but it's. There's a lot of comic stores. There's a couple of comic stores where they've had kind of the same guys involved in a long time. But there's a lot of stores where it's like they change over all the time. And I'm like, man, I would drive me bananas if I was a customer there, because, you kind of get to know these people. And if they're, stuff happens, people have to leave, right? But
well, it was like when I started working at Elusive last year, and helping them move, and then eventually working on their back issues. Some people actually looked at me like, you're working in another shop? Like, concerned. Like, there was this concerned tone.
Well, Sam worked at What's Hot, another comic store. I also worked there for a year before I worked at CD Warehouse, Compact Disc Warehouse. Sorry, but technically the name, it was Compact Disc Warehouse.
It was actually on the freaking signage.
Right.
I thought you were just being really clever with your puns.
No.
It was on the signage.
No, not clever.
I worked there and here. Sam worked there and here. I'm friends with.
I remember Sam ringing me up. I never remember you there, but I'm sure we've crossed.
I worked I was like the Sunday guy there. Sam was like the Sunday guy here, right? It was. I worked the one day over there. I would help out during sales and everything, but I worked there for a year.
That was seriously my
change.
spot to buy CDs.
Wait. Oh, sorry, CD Warehouse.
Yeah.
Was this the place in Menlo Park?
No,
it's right here in El Camino.
It's no longer there.
It used to be on the other side of the
Oh, it's no longer there? Thank you for that insightful piece of garbage.
Fuck you.
What?
I love you.
Yeah.
But this
they had a lot of Tupac Underground CDs that were like bootlegs that someone copied.
That
on
was
a
the
computer.
beginning of the end when they got busted for the bootlegs. That's when
they had a lot of bootleg Tupacs that they somehow born on a.
I remember that spot.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Okay.
Yeah.
That
on
was
a computer. They made it on a computer.
What do you mean that was the beginning of the end, though? Like, don't you mean Napster was the fucking beginning of the end?
Well, so the joke is they sold the store the day the MP3 was invented. It wasn't exactly the same day, but it was like the iPod came out like a week after they sold the store. And funny enough, they sold the store to a corporation called CD Warehouse that was based in like Southern California and Texas or whatever.
Did they go like that? The same name. We don't have to do too much.
Well, they were going to. They apparently the corporation was going to sue them, and they said we've had this license since like 1984 or something like that. They're like, oh, could we buy you instead? And then they all went out of business. So there you go.
Jesus.
Yep. Fun times. But that's not CD Warehouse. We're talking about comics conspiracy, and we're going for 2 hours. We're no longer going to be talking about comics conspiracy. We're going to end this podcast now.
Why?
Any last thoughts? You got one last thought? Anyone?
Do we kiss the floor like Michael Jordan does when he stopped playing basketball?
You want to kiss this floor?
Not
Good
really.
luck.
I would normally love to, but have no desire to. I've urinated on this floor so many times.
If Omar's been here, I don't
Just
even want to
kidding.
know what's
Or
been on this
am
floor.
I?
So, of course, I want to thank all of you, not just the listeners, because you guys are the ones that make us happen, but everyone sitting at this table. You guys are. I literally could not do this without you. Customers, the store would not exist without you guys as well, and that includes Bryce and Lynn. I mean, you guys are customers. You guys are what make this store exist. Toby, Charlie, Brock, and Marshall. You guys run the store because as much as it feels like I'm here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I physically can be. You guys do an awesome job of keeping the store.
Well, you have your fucking Disneyland trips too.
Well, that's the
There
thing
you
is when Ryan first owned the store and I came here, you didn't take a vacation.
Never.
You never
Took
ever
years.
did. It took like years
even
for
a
us
day
to
off.
get you to take a day off. And then finally,
fuck you guys!
Like,
I'm going to Disneyland every other weekend. The store's yours.
He's like, yeah, this is how you do the check-in. Fucking buy. And Marshall and I are like,
Mickey Mouse is calling.
Shit.
Now you get to deal with what I've dealt with for the last.
Well, and the funny thing is, you
7
come back
years.
like, it's hard, isn't it? We're like, no, it's not really hard. It's just you get practice. We'll go do it faster.
Exactly.
You're like, you motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you guys are obviously such important parts of the store.
We've had midnight releases here.
Everything.
There's been a couple signings.
Could do that really soon too. I could hopefully do one of those soon too.
It's crazy.
So thank you if you've ever shopped here. If you ever listen to this podcast, if you ever shopped here, if you purchased something online, any of the employees, former, obviously, Sam, rest in peace. Hopefully, again, another guy who couldn't have done it with. He was an awesome employee here for years and years.
He knew his shit. He knew his books.
He
man.
really
He knew his
knew his
books.
stuff.
He was like a living encyclopedia on books.
Yeah. That dude forgot more than I can remember. That dude knew everything. That's it. That's the podcast. That's our last podcast recorded here. I think it was a good one. But next week we're going to be off. Mm-hmm. The week after that, we're going to have our first podcast from Comics Conspiracy. All new, all different.
Whoa.
Comics Conspiracy now! Exclamation point.
It will take us 10 seconds to give our secret origin to the new store.
Yeah. Well, we opened last week. I don't know. We're here. Yeah, and Brooke, you're going to be gone.
Right?
I'm
going camping with my.
Yeah, it's your birthday,
kids.
right? It's going to be like your birthday's like right
No,
before?
my birthday's the next week.
Oh, the week after. Okay. So Brock won't be here.
My brother and his kids and his wife are going camping, and they invited us to go. So
Nice.
we didn't really get a vacation this summer. So I was like, we can go camping for a few days.
Go for it.
I will be gone.
Well, we'll miss you at the new place.
I might tweet in a question.
Send us some questions. Of course, we have to thank our good friends from Patreon. Julian Titus, who Julian and all you high tier backers, you have some stuff coming to you.
Yes, I packaged it today.
It's on its way.
It's not in a normal packaging, so don't get excited that it's in that much space.
We had a couple trades we were a little late sending out, so I hooked you guys up. We got a few things heading out to you. Hope you like it. Julian Titus has the Nerds of All Pants podcast at pixelbit.com, celebrating their 5th year of No Pants.
No pants.
There you go. Celebrating 5 years of No Pants. Go check those guys out. Ryan Hess has not the Preach podcast.
Blowhards.
I'm looking at my old list. I need
Blowhards.
that one. Yes, Blowhards. Thank you very much. Which, of course, you can find on iTunes. It's a video game podcast. Everyone loves video games. You can also find... Here we go. Let's try this one instead. Jody Lawson and Ken in the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. Go check out their comics there. Our good friends Manoa Place, Sam Chea, Talon Bray, Craig Anderson...
Indicator.
Hope you survive Comic-Con. And Joe Duff. Thank you guys all very, very much. You guys also, every single person donating through Patreon, that money comes straight to the store, gets these guys some comics, gets me some, and comics and pizza, gets us all food, helps pay for the hosting, but, that money comes right back into the store.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
Even if you're not local and you want to help support us at a new location, our rent's a little higher, I could use the help. Patreon.com/comic conspiracy. A little as $1 a month. You can help support this podcast and our new store. Of course, we still have the GoFundMe up. I cannot thank the people enough that donated to that. We were nearly at half our goal, and any other, if we get $5 more or $500 more or whatever it is, every penny that goes into that has been such an incredible help. I want to thank everyone that's donated to that. The goal was very high. I didn't expect us to reach it, but we still have some time left on it. Mm-hmm. Kick us $1 or $2 or 10 or 50 cents or whatever it is. But again, the money helps in that so much. GoFundMe, search for Comics Conspiracy. You'll see it on there. We move as of Thursday. One more day left, so we can start packing up.
Don't forget that the Bryce is Right T-shirt ended.
But it's back. It's back. We sold a bunch. If you go to Teespring, yes.
Did you order a few
Teespring.
for the new shop?
The Bryce is Right shirt?
Yeah.
I did not. However,
You should.
we have some T-shirts coming for Comics Conspiracy, the store. That's coming
Price
soon.
is Right is more important.
Well, maybe.
I agree. Confirmed.
Maybe because of how important this podcast is, it'd be nice if we sold some Comic Conspiracy merchandise at Comics Conspiracy. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe that's something we're going to have to do pretty soon.
I don't think Toby was here for that.
No, I don't think he was, but maybe that's something we're going to have to do pretty soon. So when our Comics Conspiracy shirts come before the store opens, maybe you can buy those online.
Wait, shirts are coming? Do
Shirts
you know
are
how
coming.
much how many boxes I got to move?
When we get some other stuff up, maybe I'll let you guys know about that as well. In the meantime, why don't you check out comicconspiracypodcast.com or geekbox.net. Rate and review us on iTunes, please. That helps us a lot. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. If you don't like single comics, or physical books, buy them digitally. Again, that money comes right back to the store. We get a good kickback from that. So pick up some books from there if you want to get something. ConspiratorBrock.com, Brock's blog and video pull list. And go check out what books he's picking up this week. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. That's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast.
I gotta say, I like the Who special we did on the roundup. So if you don't like the normal roundups, go give the episode 5 a listen because it's a little bit different.
Patreon backers, last week, 2 episodes of the roundup went up. The late one that I was super late about posting, the new Doctor Who special, and Bryce Briefly. All of those are up.
That was a Bryce story time.
Bryce
some shit.
story time with
cool.
Bryce.
Story time with Bryce. Did you listen to it?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was here in person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Those are all up at patreon.com/comicconspiracy.
And my UK adventures are on the Who special.
Exactly, yep. And Toby's European vacation. If you throw in $1, you can listen to every single episode that we've done special for the Patreon.
And more's coming.
And
Charlie, how jealous are you? I've been in the actual TARDIS, and now I touched the Tennant's hand.
So the Tennant's hand is... I'm still jealous, but not as jealous as I expected to be.
Billy Piper's next, and Martha Jones. That's my goal in my life.
I think I would be more jealous if it wasn't for the fact that he'd been doing a lot of the Wizard World con circuits and that kind of stuff. So
follow us on Twitter, and especially follow us on Twitter the next week as we're moving. I'm going to post all sorts of pictures. Brock will tweet a bunch of selfies. You know he will. Ryan Higgins, that's
I've been
myself.
doing live shit for this.
I know. Brock is Brock Sager. Larsen Bryce. That's Bryce Larsen. Larsen.
Every time.
Larsen Bryce on Twitter. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie is Insanity in Chaos. The store is ComicsCon Store. Please follow us there. And don't forget to listen to the Geekbox, which is also off next week because Ryan Scott's traveling for work, so no Geekbox either. Sorry, guys. Comedy Button, Good Job Brain, All Talk Podcast, and Manga Machinations. And for the very last time, from 115-A East Fremont Avenue in Sunnyvale, California, 94087, that was the Comic Conspiracy. Join us in 2 weeks at 913 West El Camino Real in Sunnyvale, California, not even 5 minutes from our current location, for the next episode of the Comic Conspiracy Podcast. Thank you, everyone.